Hey there, and welcome to my free MLB Betting Masterclass. So if you bet on sports and if you're not satisfied with the results, or if you already bet on baseball and you want to improve the game, or if you're completely new to baseball betting, then this video is perfect for you. I've been betting on MLB for 20 years and sports betting completely changed my life. Since 2016, I've shared my approach, my picks, and made hundreds of units in profit. And now I want to share this knowledge and everything I know about baseball betting with you for free so you don't waste years for mistakes like many others. In this video, you will not get any locks, well plays, guaranteed wins, or any magic pill because in sports betting there are no guarantees, but I guarantee you that after watching this video, you will have a clear picture what it takes to become a long-term winning baseball bettor, and even if you take only one idea from this video, you will dramatically increase your chances of making money betting on MLB. The video will be divided in modules, and if you want to skip them, you can do it, but I will explain everything from the basics to the odds. I will explain math behind betting. I will share my story and why I started betting on baseball, and I will show you how you can actually win, okay? So first I want to start with quick intro to the video so you know what you can expect, who I am, why I started betting on baseball despite I don't come from USA. This is why you hear this accent, but I still hope you will stick with me until the end of this video. I also want to talk about the mindset you need to get the most out of this training. So the final goal of this video is to help you transition as quickly as possible from baseball fan and recreational bettor who pay or follow sports picks and throw away money on parlays to becoming an actual baseball bettor who understands the game, who understands sports betting, who understands plus EV. And my goal is that I give you all the information that you need so you can make this transition as quickly as possible. Because one of the most important lessons I've learned in my 25 years of betting is this. Sports betting, and successful sports betting are completely three different things, okay? Most people love sports, most people love their teams, their leagues, their players, and they think that if they know everything about their players, they will automatically make money, which is of course not true. Then we have sports betting category. Those are the people who you see on social media, who follow sports picks. They place bets, they place parlays. Those are recreational bettors, but they never treat sports betting as a business. And today we will talk about successful sports betting. But before we start, some of the topics I will discuss may be uncomfortable for some people, but they reflect the reality of sports betting. And I believe that ignoring reality also leads to losing money. And I think the truth is always better than comfort, okay? And to do this, there is mindset shift required, okay? There are a couple of harsh truths. Most people love money and sports, but who doesn't love money and sports? But most people hate betting. This is why I see so many people start betting and then after 3 months they stop betting because they don't love it. They don't want to go through the struggle to everything that comes with sports betting, okay? Most people ask what to bet, not how to actually become successful sports bettor, okay? If you just think about this, most successful people, or if you take a pro athletes, let's say LeBron James, he didn't ask just how to score a basket or how to make a point. He asked himself, what kind of person I must become if I want to be successful in this sport, okay? And this comes with training, with mindset, with diet, with everything, right? It is not just scoring a basket or placing a bet, okay? 95% of people who bet on sports end up with a negative record. And when we talk about the negative record, you should always look at lifetime record, because if you have someone who has 2 winning years and then he loses everything, this is not a winning bettor, okay? Sometimes I receive a message, what is your record for last month? Nobody cares, because the only thing that matter is a long-term record, okay? And 80% of those who lose blame others or bad luck. They blame players, they blame teams, they blame handicappers, and even more, don't achieve any real financial success or make their lives better. Those are a couple of harsh truths, but I don't want to be negative. This is why we are here, to show you the other way, okay? Because the concept of successful sports betting is very simple, okay? I will explain everything in this video. It is very simple, but hard to execute. And one of my friends, professional bettor, he said, if you can win at sports betting, you can win at almost anything, because it requires discipline, strategy, and the ability to think long-term. So if you think that you will just randomly follow some picks without anything else, then you will probably not succeed at sports betting, okay? Because sports betting is a relative competition against other bettors, not just against bookmakers. Most people think that they need to beat a bookmaker, but in reality, you're also playing against other bettors because other bettors affect the lines as well, okay? So all these messages, bookie killers or something like that, this is completely ridiculous. Winning sports betting is completely different than recreational betting. And just think about this. Successful stock market investor, those who bet, those with the best information, elite teams, and powerful algorithms are happy with 10% annual return. And on the other side, we have many casual sports bettors sitting at home think they will turn their bankroll into 10x returns each year just by following random picks. Of course, this is not going to happen. So I hope you see the issue with this thinking, right? But the good news is that there is a way to change this and start winning if you approach betting the right way. And one of my favorite quotes is, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And this is why I have created this masterclass, okay? And the first mindset shift is this: treat betting like a business. So you need to start treating betting like a business. Only 5% of people actually make some money in sports betting. And if you want to be part of 5%, you will need to treat it like a business and you will need to put some effort. This is how it is. Approach betting with the same discipline as running a business or investing, okay? So simply track every bet, manage risk, and have a clear strategy. The goal isn't to win today or the next bet, is to be profitable long term, as I already mentioned. The second mindset shift you can make, which will increase your chances: passion is a competitive advantage, okay? Everyone should ask himself, is this even my passion? Okay, maybe you can find passion later, maybe you can start and then you will become passionate. This is usually the right way. So you start doing something, you become better, you gain confidence, and then you become passionate. Passion will not just come or fly from the sky, right? Everyone loves money in sports, but that's not enough. And passion for analyzing games, stats, and markets separates winners from losers. And patience and discipline are necessary for long-term success. And if you're not passionate, you will also lose patience and discipline much easier, right? So if you don't love the process, someone else who does will outperform you, okay? I had bad years. I had a lot of struggles, but I didn't quit after 1 or 2 bad months like most people do, okay? I did this for years and years and years, and because this was my passion, okay? And I could outperform others who are not passionate about this, okay? And the third mindset shift is betting is more about math, economics, and investing than just a sport. If you understand this, then you will also start thinking like an investor, and you will start thinking a little bit more through math, not just picking winners, which is not a way to win. Okay, sports betting is not about who should win; it's about market inefficiencies, probability, expected value, closing line value, and similar topics are much more important than opinions or picking winners. And of course, every success starts with taking full responsibility. So if you can change this mindset, you will already have better chance than 90% of other people who will not do this. So just quick backstory how I started betting on baseball. Despite I don't come from USA, I was born in former Yugoslavia, and I made a first bet somewhere in 1998 where I was 18 years old. This year I will be 45, and of course I started with parlays like most of my friends and most bettors, and of course I was losing. But then I found that I can compare my local bookmakers odds with online bookmakers because my local bookie didn't move the lines correctly. Later my local bookie started banning me, and then I went to the college where I studied water science, and I started building my own first betting models. But I was still stuck with the soccer because soccer was my passion. I was playing soccer, and of course in Europe, soccer is most popular sport. And I simply didn't understand successful sports betting. And after I lost my money again, I said it's enough. And then I started viewing betting as a market, not as a sport that I love. So I simply separated those two things, okay? So I could watch soccer, but I decided that I will become a sports bettor and I will look at sports betting through the numbers, through the discipline, and through the growth. And then things started changing. So the first goal was to find a market with a lot of statistics, because I knew that if I have a lot of statistics, I can analyze it. I also didn't want to be emotionally involved, because when I was betting on soccer, I was always emotionally involved and I didn't make good decisions. And I also wanted to find a market with a lot of games, so I can do this on a regular basis every single day, not waiting for 1 week or 1 month. And then I found baseball, and I didn't know anything about baseball. I never saw a game. I never saw anyone play baseball. Nobody knows anything about baseball in my country or anyone from my friends. And then I got somehow this game, MVP Baseball 2004. I started playing all the time. I learned all the rules, all the players, and I simply love this game. So Pujols here on the picture is one of my favorite players as well. But then I started betting on baseball. I started building my own betting models, and this changed basically my life. And baseball was main part of this. So from 2005 and 2016, I had a big success with baseball betting, and I kept it private. I didn't talk about betting with my parents, with anyone that I know. Only the closest friends and my girlfriend knew that I was betting, but at the same time, I was saving and reinvesting these profits. And during this time, I also quit the 9 to 5. But at the same time, I was also observing what is happening in the sports betting world, and I didn't like all those peaks, thoughts, handicappers. Not that I didn't like, but I felt that I can also share something that I learned on my journey. And then in 2016, I decided to launch my website, underdogchance.com. I didn't want to sell any sports picks because I knew that this is not the right way. I saw so many people looking for sports picks and they never make any money. So I didn't know really in which direction my website will go, but I started focusing on teaching betting with spreadsheets and models. At the same time, I was also sharing my picks. And since I launched my website, I shared thousands of bets. I made more than 100 units betting on baseball. This is more than 100K for dime bettors. I wanted to show that it is possible to win at sports betting, and especially baseball, which was my main thing. So why focus on baseball and why I think MLB betting is so beautiful? First of all, baseball is the most data-driven sport in the world, or one of the most data-driven sports in the world. We have large sets of data, a lot of tracking of statistics, which goes back to 100 years. And if you are passionate about this, if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to research and study the game, you have a lot of information which will give you advantage against those who are not passionate about this. The next thing, the gap between the best and worst team in baseball is much closer than in any other popular market or sport. For example, in NBA, teams will win around 80% of times. In NFL, even more, 80 to 90%. In NHL, 60-70% of times. In English Premier League, 70%, even more in soccer. And the worst teams will rarely win the games. Of course, we also have a tie. But in baseball, even the best teams will lose around 60% of games, and even the worst teams can win 30, even 40% of games. And on any given day, the best team can lose to a worst team, which gives us opportunities. If you study the game, if you research the game, if you make analysis, you will find opportunities where other bettors and recreational bettors will not find these opportunities for plus EV, because they don't study the game and they mostly try to pick the winners. They want to win every single bet. And of course, sports betting is not about picking winners, but finding plus EV and mispriced opportunities. And with this, you can find some nice underdogs, some nice opportunities to make money. Okay. The next thing, more games is also more opportunities. Okay, how I see sports betting, with every single game I see opportunity. You can look at the game as a struggle, or you can look at the game as opportunity. The more opportunities you have, the more chances you will have to make money, because on the betting market, a good bet is a bet that is mispriced. Okay, and if you have only 10 games in 1 month, there is a very little chance that bookmakers or the market will make a mistake. But if you have 15 games every single day and more than 2,400 games in one season, there is more chance that you will find good bets, okay, or good opportunities. I will just give you a couple of examples. In NFL, we have 272 games in one season, so you will have less opportunities. Of course, we have different proposition bets, first half bets, and so on, but every single market has this type of different markets and opportunities, right? And in the Premier League, around 380 games. In NBA, 1,230 games. In NHL, 1,312 regular season games. Of course, there are also playoffs. And in baseball, this is twice from NHL and around 10 times more than in NFL. So basically, in one short season, or in 1 year, you have 10 times more opportunities than, for example, in NFL, or 9 times or 8 times than Premier League, and 2 times more than in NBA or NHL. And of course, if you look at this, more opportunities is also more opportunities to make money, right? The next interesting thing is that when baseball is played, most other major league sports are shut down, especially during the summer from June to August. Other sports are shut down, and many sports bettors will either stop betting or they will try to bet baseball because the focus is there, and because they don't have the skills, they will also lose a lot of money. And if you focus on baseball, you have nice opportunity during the summer, which is basically 25% of a year, right? Then the next thing, baseball is also a big market. So why is this good? For example, if you bet on Swedish second basketball league, of course, when you start small, I always recommend start small with smaller markets, because the competition is smaller and you will have better chance to win. So if you start with I don't know, $1 American per bet, $10 American per bet, just go with low fruits with smaller markets. But once you grow and once you start betting more and more, you want to move to bigger markets, because if you bet, I don't know, thousands American dollars, then you want to be with the big market. And baseball is one of the biggest markets where you can bet much more, and this is great, right? There is also tons of historical data and advanced stats. We have sabermetrics, which allows deep analysis beyond just scores. So if you love this, you will have a lot of information which can give you advantage against others who will just watch games, who will just follow sports picks, who will not take it seriously, right? Baseball is also played in layers, not as a time-based game. Why is this good? Because you can study every single bet, every single pitch, every single inning. It is much easier to study, or not much easier, but you can study and go really, really into the details if you want with every single thing, and you can find the angles and opportunities that many others will not find. Okay, and I would also say it is more predictable than other sports. So being predictable and finding mispriced opportunities or finding plus EV are two different things. But when it comes to predictions, with all these stats, with years of statistics, with all the information, it can be much more predictable than, I don't know, some UFC, where you need to take a lot of psychological things, because they fight, I don't know, 4 times in 1 year, and statistics that comes from, I don't know, from 2 years ago is not relevant anymore. In baseball, in a very short period of time, there is a lot of things, a lot of statistics, right? A lot of things happen, okay? And it is much more predictable because of this. And we also know that most people don't use any analytics when they bet, and in sports betting in general, this is a relative competition against others, and this can be your advantage, okay? And of course, you cannot hide behind luck, or survivorship bias disappears. What that means, for example, if you have, let's say we have a room of 100 people, okay? And they will flip a coin 100 times, right? And there will be some people who will have had for 60% of times. And then they will say, okay, those are skilled flip coiners. Of course, this is not true. They were just lucky because they had very small sample size. For example, and I don't want to bash NFL, because NFL is great market, and the smartest bettors are betting on NFL. But if you have but we also have a lot of people who are just lucky. Okay, they didn't have a lot of games, very small sample size, and you can easily fake your results. You can have 27-7 record or 34-24, and you say I'm winning better. Okay, in baseball this is much harder to do because in one season you will have more than 2,430 games. In 10 years you will analyze more than 25,000 games, right? If we take also playoffs, but you will analyze around 25,000 games. So this is not small sample size. And if in 10 years you show that you made a profit and you are profitable better, then you can be confident that you know something about this, right? In in the sports with less games, you cannot not be sure unless you track every, I don't know, closing line and so on. And there are also different metrics to do this. But as a sports bettor, at some point you want to know if you simply have the edge or if this is for you or if this even makes sense. And with a lot of games with baseball, with all the information, you will get a clear picture much quicker. And this is, I think this is good. The next thing, games are every single day. I would say spending 1 hour each day on betting analysis is far more effective than doing 10 hours in one day and then nothing for the next 7 days. Because if you want to be consistent, if you want to grow as a sports bettor, if you want to become more confident every single day, a lot of people ask me how to do this. Simply analyze games every single day. Like if you ask someone who is successful at business, in NBA, in NFL, pro athletes, they will tell you train every single day, do this every single day. Passionate people are passionate about their success, about their business. And in sports betting, if you bet on Sunday and then you don't care about analysis, about I don't know, researching the games, and then you just wait for next Sunday, do you think you will become successful? Of course not. But baseball forces you to become an actual bettor who do this every single day. Okay, of course this is not for everyone, but you will learn in 1 year more than someone else in 10 years. Okay, because the volume of analysis, the volume of your work, the volume of actions that baseball forces you will make you much better in a very short period of time. And this is why I think MLB baseball is so beautiful. And despite this, many people believe that winning at sports betting, especially MLB, is impossible. They say baseball is unpredictable and a bet market and not worth the effort. But you know, here's the truth. Most people don't take it seriously. And secondly, if you want to have even a chance to win, you must first eliminate common myths and misconceptions from your mindset. And here are 10 betting myths you need to let go if you want to have a chance to win at sports betting. First, the best sports bettors are mad geniuses or scientists. This is, of course, not true. Most mad geniuses or scientists don't even bet. The best sports bettors and most successful sports bettors are just average guys like me and many people you know, but they are willing to do the work. They are willing to learn and go deep into the topic, which is something most people are not willing to do. Okay, and that's why only around 5% of people actually make some money, and only 1% of people make good money from sports betting. The second myth: winning bettors have special gambling instinct or magic ability. This is, of course, not true. It is only about how you can spot plus EV bets on the market, what kind of person you are, because this will also show you if you're willing to grow, because the sports betting market is always growing. And if you understand that this is relative competition against others, you need to grow with the market. You cannot just stay at the same point because it is a relative competition, not absolute competition. And it is only about how you can explain your bets through the math, through the numbers, and what kind of system you have so you can beat the market. And then, of course, with bankroll management, with discipline, and so on. Okay, it is not about instinct or magic ability. Okay, if this would be so easy, then we would have some wizards who would be, I don't know, billionaires. Third myth: watching games, reading news, and spending 30 minutes per day is enough to succeed. Watching games, watching YouTube videos without taking action, reading news, and spending 30 minutes a day is not enough to succeed at anything. Okay, not in sports betting, not in business, not in pro sports, nothing. Okay, it is more about if you're willing to do, if you're even passionate about this. some people are passionate for playing a guitar, some for sports, some for something else, because most people confuse sports and sports betting, because sports is watching games and sports betting is analyzing the games, right? It is more about this. It is not about just, I don't know, 30 minutes per day is probably not enough for anything in life to succeed. And especially not in such competitive market like sports betting, where only 5% of people in the world win. That's why bookmakers are getting richer and richer every single day. And that's why so many people are broke because of betting. 30 minutes per day, just watching games, YouTube videos is not enough. Simply as that, okay? Fourth myth, following other people speaks is the case to success. This is also not true. If you understand the math behind betting, if you understand a little bit line movement, and even if you just use common sense, following in general is a losing mentality everywhere, okay? Because sports betting is not passive income like most people think. Most people think that they will just give money to someone, or that they will just get some picks from someone, and then they will blindly type teams or type bets in the bookmakers, and then this they will just make money. This is not going to happen, okay? Sports betting is like a business, like a serious thing. You need to take action, take effort, and then you can succeed, okay? Fifth myth, sports betting is like any other investment. This is not true, and this is true, okay? First, what is not true? Sports betting is not like, as I said, it is not passive income stream or passive investment like many people think, because you cannot just give money to someone and who will bet for you, because that guy will probably has problems with limits. We cannot give all the money to one bettor, like I don't know, like in stock market or some funds, okay? Because they will have problems with placing bets, okay? At the end of the day, it is you against the market, okay? It is active income, because we live in different countries. We have different bookmakers. We have different IQ, EQ. We act differently, and it is always you against the market, okay? And you will need to place bets every single day. You will need to make analysis, and you will need to make decisions every single day. It is not like passive incomes where you go to sleep for 5 years, you buy some real estate, then you go to sleep for 10 years, and then you wake up and that price goes up and you didn't do anything, right? It is not like this, okay? Sports betting is an active income stream. I see this more as one step to go to bigger goals, okay? One step to go to wealth or building a wealth, okay? But why it is similar to investments? Because your goal is to find undervalued prices on the market. You need to be strategic, you need to invest, you need to pay only the price that you think is good price. You need to focus long term, and after some time you need to focus long term, and that's why it is like investment, like buying stocks on the market where you think the price is good. In sports betting, we have the odds, and you buy only the odds when the price is good. This is similarity with other investments, okay? Odds and prices don't matter. Odds and prices are all that matters, okay? Because no matter what you do, if you pay bad price, you will lose money. Imagine if you buy a car for 10,000 American dollars, you will only make money if you can sell it for 20,000 American dollars, okay? It is not important if your focus is profit. It is not important if this is Lamborghini or Toyota. The goal is to buy for one price and sell it for higher price, okay? This is the goal. It is not, I don't know, it is not about the winner. It is not about the Lamborghini. It is in sports betting, most people just want to win the next game. They want to pick a winner, but nobody can predict a winner, okay? That this is not possible. We're always looking at the prices, okay? And that's all that matters. There is a secret formula or system that guarantees profit. In sports betting, there are no guarantees, okay? And nothing in life is guarantee, okay? Maybe mathematically guarantee is arbitrage betting, but once you understand this game as well, you will see that this is also not a guarantee. In life, there are no guarantees, okay? Anyone who will say that you will win 100% sure, or that they have guaranteed winners, this is just BS, and I hope you can use common sense and you don't fall for these traps. Okay, so first of all, the life itself is the game of probabilities. Okay, you go out of your house, you sit in a car, and there is a chance that you can die. So this is probability. Okay, you send your kids to the college, there is a and you pay for this, or I don't know, you start college and you take a loan, and there is a chance that you will fail. You decide to play in NBA, you train hard, you sacrifice everything, and there is a chance that you will not make it. Okay, the game is basically, the life is game of probabilities. Okay, but what we want to do, we want to increase our chances of success. That's why you train if you want to play in NBA. That's why you dress well and get fit if you want to have, I don't know, good wife. You want to find a good wife. You learn a lot if you want to finish the college. And in sports betting, we take necessary steps and actions so we increase our chances of success in sports betting. But there is no 100% guaranteed wins in sports betting. Okay, but we still play the game of life and sports betting, because if not, you can just sit at home and just close the doors and be at home. Okay, we always go outside and take a risk. Okay, and the goal is that when we take a risk, we also increase our chances of winning at sports betting. But there is no guarantee. Okay, statistics don't matter. Statistics matters. That's why professional bettors, bookmakers, they all rely on statistics. Some people will say, yes, but what if coach's wife is cheating on him? Yes, this is also statistics, because statistics. What is statistics? Statistics are basically numbers or data points from information. So we don't say wife is cheating on player. This can be data point. Let's say 3. Okay, the numbers and statistics. This is just the language. So that makes our analysis easier. Okay, so everything can be important. Okay, and statistics is just the language of how we process the data. The numbers and math are just language, and the problem is that most people don't know how to speak this language. That's why they say it is not important, but it is most important thing. Okay, so this is a myth if you think statistics is not important. Ninth, winning more than 52% of bets is the goal. Winning percentage in sports betting is not important without context. Okay, this 52% mostly come from Americans, because you have minus 110 against minus 110, or maybe if you have lower juice, minus 105, minus 105 odds. But even those spreads odds, where bookmakers try to set the probability at 50-50 and then include the margins, even those are changing. Sometimes you will see minus 101 against minus 125, and then the winning percentage is completely different. In sports betting, winning percentage doesn't matter. Okay, you can lose 70% of games and you can make much more money than someone who is winning 60% of games. It depends on the odds you take. Okay, if you play odds of plus 120 or plus 130 in average, you can win less than 50% of games and you will make a lot of money. But if you win, I don't know, 55% of games or 60% of games, and if you constantly bet huge favorites of minus 100, I don't know, 250, you will not make any money. So at the end of the day, the profit is what matters, not winning percentage. Okay, when I see posting bets or records, when they say 28-7 or something, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, without the context. Okay, at the end of the day, it only matters how much money you make. Okay, the proof is always in reality, not in winning percentages. And baseball is the hardest sport to bet. That's also not true. It is only hard because most people don't take it seriously. It will show you much quicker that you are losing better than, for example, if you bet on some sport with less games. If you make in next 10 years 200 bets, and you have first season 76, second 2013, So 1 year, second year, 10 year, and you can say, okay, I'm winning better for 10 years. Well, that's not the same. In baseball, in one season, you will have this amount of games, and that's why for some people they will say that it is hardest to bet. It is not hardest. I think it is one of the best sports to bet, but only if you take it seriously. But if you not take seriously sports betting, it is only a matter of time when you will lose it anyway. So just you will just wait a little bit more. Okay. So what to do next? So first, start viewing betting as a market, not as a sport. Okay, if you start viewing as a market, if you start looking at the prices, at the data points, because this is dynamic market, like stock market, where we have the prices, and the most important thing that you should look at are the prices that you will pay. If you will pay bad price, you will probably lose. Okay, or change based on the volume of bets and info. Value opportunities, simply look for value opportunities and mispriced odds on the market. Okay, and then secondly, start viewing betting as a business, not just as a hobby. Simply with this, you need to be disciplined and take away emotions. So forget emotions, just try to be disciplined, because sports betting cannot be hobby. Okay, I like to give this example. We have three types of hobbies. First hobby is hobby for fun, like playing a guitar. Okay, maybe you will play a guitar, maybe you will buy a guitar, maybe you will pay for a guitar instructor, and this is the only money you will lose. Okay, and then you can have fun with your friends, and nobody will lose, and everything is fine. Okay, you don't need to be good at it, you don't need to, I don't know, whatever, right? Then we have the second hobbies. Those are dangerous hobbies. I was watching that documentary in Thailand where when these kids were stuck in the cave, and then they called those cave divers. Okay, so cave diving is a hobby, but this is a dangerous hobby. If you don't take it seriously, you can die. Okay, you will simply die if you don't take it seriously. This is dangerous hobby. And then we have money hobbies. If you don't take it seriously, you will lose money. And only the first hobbies for fun, like playing a guitar, playing a sport, you don't need to take them seriously. Okay, you can just play on the weekend baseball or soccer or whatever, and nobody cares. Okay, but other hobbies like money hobbies and dangerous hobbies, you need to take it seriously, like a business, because either you die or you lose money. And sports betting is serious money business. Okay, if you don't treat it like this, what that means: invest in your knowledge, work every single day, research, become better, and so on, like a business, right? Track what you're doing, use analytics, use all the information that you have, and so on. Simply take it as a business. If not, bad things can happen. You need to track every wager to analyze performance as a business, right? Treat your bankroll as business capital, and long-term focus. This is very, very important. That's why I put it in the red, because most people don't have long-term focus. Sometimes I receive the message, hey, I'm doing this for 3 months. This is not working. Guy, I'm doing this for 25 years. Of course, not every single year was great. If I would quit after first month or first 3 months, I wouldn't be here. And if you ask any successful person in the world, pro athlete, pro business, whatever, it was years, but they did this because they had the passion. And that's why I mentioned passion previously, because if you don't have the passion, this is one of the first questions you need to answer. I believe that passion starts once you go deeper, and once you start doing this, then passion becomes naturally. But most people cannot focus long term because they simply don't love it. And if you panic after first week, first month, even first year, then this is not probably for you. Okay, uh, and long-term focus is always important, because if you have the edge, if you are winning better, uh, in the long run, the results will show. Okay, if you can do this regularly on a daily basis and every single week. Okay, and this is one of the most important things. And I don't know how to teach someone to have long-term focus, because this is one of the hardest things. This is more psychological thing, and it has much more with passion, with character. But even if you just understand that this is very important, okay, because in the short period of time anything can happen. Okay, it can be good, it can be bad, and I would even say that people who lose just at the start, they are not passionate. This is even better, because they start betting for 3 months, they see this is not for them, and they stop betting forever. That's great. The problem are those who have short-term expectations. They win big because they were lucky, and then they don't stop betting for next 10 years and they keep losing. Okay, and at the same time they don't have passion, they don't invest time, money, energy to become better, and they are not into this, and this is much harder path. Okay, long-term focus is very, very important. So if we make a quick recap of Model 1, your knowledge of baseball is not as important as you think. If that would be true, then the best bettors would be ex-players and commentators, and they are not the best bettors. Mindset shift is required. This is why we started with this. Mindset shift is required. I didn't start making money from betting before I didn't change my mindset. And don't ask how to pick winners or make money, but ask what kind of a bettor I must become to actually have a chance to make money. So this is also mindset shift. LeBron James didn't ask how to score a basket, but what kind of person I must become so I can actually become the best. That includes training, mindset, uh, strategy, everything, right? And it is the same in sports betting. Okay, if you just ask what you need to bet in the next game, just wait when you will start losing. I don't want to be harsh, but as I said, I will give you everything that I know for free, without fluff, without BS. I will just say how I think, what I learned, and I hope you will get the idea. And this is simply truth, right? Treat betting like investing and business, and baseball is amazing market, but only if you take it seriously. I did it, and although I didn't know anything about baseball before, and I also know many others made money betting on baseball too. So I hope you got a couple of ideas that will change your betting experience forever. And in the next model, I will start explaining sports betting and what it takes to make good bets, how betting works, and so on. Okay. In the second part of this video, I will explain sports betting basics. This is not only important for baseball bettors, but for everyone who bet on sports, okay? If you understand odds, if you understand probabilities, you will have better chance to win in the long run. I see so many bettors who are stuck for years, and this is one of the main reasons. But of course, if you're an advanced bettor, you can always skip the video. But I think this is very important, and I will try to explain this on a very simple way. So what is sports betting? As I see sports betting, this is intellectual game of wagering money on the outcome of a sports event. Okay, you basically pay the prices on the betting market with the hope that you will outperform others and that you will take some money. Okay, this is in a simplest form. So why people bet and what is the goal of a bet? The goal is to find bets where you believe the odds or the price offered underestimate the real chance of your prediction coming true. Okay, in a simple way, if you have two teams, let's say Boston Red Sox against Yankees, and bookmakers will offer 50-50 odds, and you say that Red Sox have 70% of chance to win this game, then you will bet on Red Sox. And because the odds are the prices on the betting market, if you repeat this all the time, you will make profit. Okay, what is a sports bet? Sports bet is nothing else than a contract. Okay, contract, you risk money on an outcome. Okay, I will give you one very simple example. Let's say that you go with your friend in a nightclub. Okay, and he will say, if you approach that girl, and if she gives you the number, I will buy you a beer. Okay, and so then you shake hands and you go approach her, and either she refuses you, or she will give you the number, and based on that outcome will pay you that beer or not. Okay, and I will give you another example. And then Kim Kardashian comes into this nightclub, or any other celebrity, and then your friend will tell you, if you approach Kim Kardashian, I will I will buy you 10 beers. Okay, because the chance is, he estimated the chance are smaller for your success. The stakes will be higher, or the outcome or reward is bigger, and this is another contract. Okay, in sports betting, Bookmakers or sports books are those who offer you the odds and you pay, and then this is a contract. Okay, so how it works: you select an event, choose an outcome, and place a wager. Okay, simple example, as I already mentioned, Yankees over the Red Sox. You say that Yankees will win. You have the price, you paid based on that, and then you get reward. Okay, and what is the role of sportsbook? They set the odds and take the opposite side of a bet. Okay, they also take the fee, but about this I will talk in next minutes. Okay, what are odds and probability? This is the most important thing. It is much more important than understanding the sport and everything else, because everything is about the price you pay. Okay, you need to balance risk and reward, because you can bet any sport, any market, and if you can find these opportunities, then you will make money. Okay, so what are the odds? Odds are simply numbers that represent the chance an event will happen. Okay, every odds that you see, this is basically a chance or probability that this will happen. Okay, the smaller probability or the smaller chance, the reward will be bigger. Like I said, if you approach Kim Kardashian or a Paris Hilton or any where someone believes that you have a smaller chance, the reward will be bigger. If you just approach a random girl, the price will be probably normal, right? And those are the odds. Okay, the odds represent the chance. Okay, I will also give you one example with Faircoin flip coin experiment. This is one common example to explain. So let's say that you flip a coin. Okay, and you don't know what will happen with your next experiment. Okay, you don't know if it will be head or tail, right? But let's say that we know that we have 50-50 chance for flipping a coin. We don't have a skill. Okay, and what you will bet, if someone offers you plus 130 on head and minus 140 on tail, you will always bet on head no matter what happens, right? And what you want to do, you want to see where you get more for what you would expect. Okay, and this is the concept of odds and probabilities. Odds are the prices, but these prices are basically the probabilities or chances. Okay, we know different formats. For most people, American and decimal is something that I believe every sports bettor should understand. We also have fractional odds. We also have Hong Kong odds, Malaysian odds, Indonesian odds. But if you understand American and decimal odds, this is completely okay. I will explain also which odds I like and why they are better than other odds, and why they are simpler once you start analyzing games. So why odds matter? They help you determine if a bet is profitable over time. Okay, I will give you another example. Okay, let's say that GOT itself will tell you that next season every game will be 50-50 chance. What you will do? Okay, you will bet on every single plus money, right? You will not try to predict the winner. You will simply bet every single plus money, because if someone gives you the probability and you have the odds from the bookmakers, you know exactly what to do. And this is the game of sports betting. Okay, so let's explain quickly decimal and American odds, because this is most common odds in betting on baseball, especially if you come from Europe or America. Decimal odds, I like decimal odds because I think they're much simpler to use. I will also jump quickly into the spreadsheets where I will show you how you can calculate this. But decimal odds simply show you total payout per unit wager, okay, including stake. For example, if you have 2.50, means you get 2.50 returned, okay? And you simply multiply your wager with decimal odds. American odds are a little bit different. They are expressed as positive or negative numbers, and automatically we have two if functions. For example, if we have negative odds, for example, minus 110, you need to bet 110 to win 100. And if you have positive odds, you bet 100 to win 150. As you see, we already have two conditions, okay? With decimal odds, it is much simpler because you simply multiply. And if you start building betting models or algorithms, then at least for me, calculations are much simpler, okay? Because you simply multiply your stake with the odds, okay? And conversion for negative odds, this is the formula, and for positive odds, as you see, this is another formula. So you have two formulas. For decimal, it is very simple. You simply divide 1 by the decimal odds and you get probability, and you simply divide 1 by probability and you get decimal odds, okay? And I will show you this in a quick practice. Another thing which is very important is break-even odds and the week, okay? When you open a bookmaker, they will offer you all the games, right? If you bet on NFL, if you bet on baseball, they will offer you all the games, and they are willing to bet against you no matter what, okay? Because we know if you bet, someone is betting against you, right? So you say you say bet on Red Sox, and someone else will say, okay, I say Yankees. So they're automatically betting against you. They're not picking winners, right? But they still make money. Why? Because they offer unfair odds. I will give you one example. Again, it can be a flip coin, or it can be two teams. If the odds are fair, then we have 50-50 chance. The odds would be plus 100 and plus 100 in decimal 2 and 2. What they do, they simply lower the odds to 1.91 or 1.90, and in American odds to minus 110. And what you need to do, you need to pay more, right? And that small difference, this is their fee. And on a larger scale, where everybody is betting, they try to balance the odds, so they always make profit. And this is the game, right? And they are basically betting on plus EV. If you bet on minus 110, and let's say that we know that it is exactly 50% of chance, they are automatically bet against you at plus 110. And with this, they have plus EV, right? And the juice is basically that difference or fee or commission, okay? This is why bookmakers make so much money, okay? As I said, if we have minus 110 odds, you need to risk minus 110 to win 100. If the odds would be fair, you would risk only 100, right? I will also show you how to calculate these odds in a spreadsheet in just a couple of seconds, but this is something you need to understand, okay? Higher week means you must win more bets to be profitable, or in other words, bookmakers will take you much more from you. You need to be better, okay? So that's why picking a bookmaker is also important, what kind of odds you get, and so on, okay? And defining a profitable bet, as I already mentioned, there is only one concept in sports betting that works. It's called plus EV. There are different ways how to find plus EVs, but bookmakers are attacking this concept. Professional and sharp bettors are attacking this concept. Only recreational bettors don't care about this, okay? Why bookmakers? Because when you bet, you're also betting against a bookmaker. When you place a bet, bookmaker is betting against you. So this is also a bettor, right? And bookmaker is placing plus EV bets automatically against you, because he will lower the odds and they have automatically plus EV. That's why they make money. And we can learn from them, and you can learn from sharp bettors. They are always attacking this concept. There are different betting models, different systems, different strategies, but the concept is only one: plus EV. Okay, and this is a profitable bet. Expected value, this is basically average profit per bet over time. As I mentioned previously, Flipcoin, for example, if we know that Flipcoin is 50-50, and if someone is offering plus 120, you will always bet on plus 120, no matter what will happen. Maybe you can lose 10 next flip coins or games, but you know that this is the right place, and you don't care about the winner, but you try to find plus EV bet, because this represents the average profit per bet over time. And if we go back to the mindset, as I already mentioned, long-term focus is important, okay? Because in short period of time, anything can happen, okay? And of course, bet is always profitable if we have plus EV, okay? Positive EV example, you estimated probability against the odds, implied probability. As I said, you can say you estimate 50% of chance, but the odds imply 55, and odds imply 50% of chance to win this game, and this is plus EV. The problem of most sports bettors is that they don't get this number, they don't analyze this or find plus EV, okay? And this is the case to success, okay? If you consistently find bets where the true chance is higher than implied by the odds, okay? And now I want to jump quickly into the spreadsheet. Okay, I want to quickly show you how you can calculate the VIC and how to use the odds, okay? I will show you on decimal odds example because I believe they are much simpler to use, especially if you analyze and if you create betting models. But of course, you can also use American odds. Here I have the formulas and functions to convert from the European odds to American odds and American odds into decimal odds. But let's say we have two teams, Red Sox and Yankees, okay? And let's say Yankees have 40% of chance and Yankees has 60% of chance. This is your analysis, okay? And you want to turn this into the odds, okay? So odds would be 1 divided by probability, and you get 2.5 and 1.67 for Yankees. And then you say, I want to calculate how much profit I make if I bet $100 American, okay? I will do this step by step. So you simply multiply this by this and you get total return, and then you simply take away 100, so you get total profit, okay? So this is total profit if you bet on Red Sox, and you can do the same for this multiplied by this, which makes sense, okay? Just a second. Which make this multiplied by this. You will have 166, and then of course we need to take away this, and you get 67 profit, 66.67, right? And this is the profit. But what bookmakers do, okay? Bookmakers will offer you something like, let's take let's say American odds. Let's say that bookmakers offer on Red Sox 120 and minus 150, okay? That would be 2.2 and 1.67, okay? And we have, let's say, Red Sox, Yankees, and they offer 2.2 and 1.67, okay? This is in American odds, so I can make it like this. This is in American odds 120 minus 150, okay? This would be US and decimal, okay? This is, the odds represent the price, okay? Different formats, but they all represent the same thing, the probability, okay? And I will make it like this. And if the odds are fair, we know that if one event will happen, then once you calculate or sum all the possible probabilities, it must be one, okay? So for example, if two teams play and if they have 30% of chance and 70% of chance, if you sum these two numbers, you must get one, right? Let's say we have three-way bets. Let's say we have home team, away team, and draft. If I don't know, if home team is 23%, draft is 56, let's say 46. What should be the away win? It should be this minus this minus this, right? Because they all must come to one, right? Which makes sense. We can also have more possible outcomes, but it should be always one, okay? But what bookmakers do? Let's do the practice here, okay? We will calculate probabilities, okay? Okay, we will divide 1 by this, and we can also drag down this. And if we sum those two numbers, we should get 1. But let's check what will happen. You see, it is not 1. And that 5.3, this is their commission, okay? So if you take this number and take 1 away, and we can turn this into percentage, this is their fee, okay? So every time you bet they take this money from you. Again, this is how you can calculate how much money they take from you, and we call this implied probabilities. Okay, and your goal as a sports bettor is that you analyze games and then you say, okay, for example, for Red Sox, I give them 50% of chance to win this game, and then you get plus money. Okay, how to calculate fair odds from this? I will also show you this. So you simply multiply this by this odds and this by these odds. Okay, so if the bookmakers would be fair, they would offer these odds instead of this odds. So in simple form, if you bet on 2.2, you would get 120 profit, but fair would be 132. If you bet on Yankees on unfair odds, you bet $100 American, you would get 67 American dollars of profit. But if the odds would be fair, you would get 75 76 American dollars. Okay, so if we now calculate probabilities from this, and if we drag down, we should get 1. Okay, and this is how you can calculate fair probabilities. Okay, and this is the most important thing. Okay, you need to understand this. Okay, again, you can also do this with American odds, which are a little bit more complex for calculation, because you need to use two if functions, two conditions, and that's why I recommend to at least explore decimal odds, because especially if you will start building betting models, analyzing games, it is much easier to calculate. Okay, and I want to show you break-even odds, why this is important. Maybe this is not that important in baseball. This is more important when we have spreads, NBA, NFL, because bookmakers automatically set the spreads so that both outcomes have 50% of chance to cover the spread. But we can also make this for baseball. Let's say that we have Red Sox plus 1.5, and let's say we have Yankees minus 1.5, and let's say we have minus 110 odds, minus 110 minus 110 in decimal, it would be 1.91. So you ask how much, what kind of winning percentage, win rate I must have so it is break even. How to do this? Simply divide 1 by this and multiply by 100, and you get 52% of chance. So if you win more than 52.35% of bets on this, then this is break even. Okay, if the odds would be fair, okay, if the odds would be 2 and 2, then break even would be 50. But usually bookmakers offer, let's say, something like this. This is why you need to win 53, 54, 55, and so on to be profitable. Okay, and this is how you can calculate it. And with American odds, you can do calculation like this. You say 110, and you must divide by 110 plus 100, because this is the amount you need to pay, and break even is 52. Okay, and this is how you can calculate. But I always prefer decimal odds. At least I think they are much simpler to use. Now I want to talk about common MLB bet types in baseball. So what is a bet type? This is basically pick what you want to bet. Okay, you can bet on winner, you can bet on how many strikeouts will pitcher have, you can bet on first half. There are different bet types, and I would also say those are different markets, because for moneyline bets the market is sharper. Maybe bookmakers will offer you lower week because they will collect more money, and even with lower fees they will get more profit. But if the volume is smaller, if they don't pay that much attention to smaller market or different bet type, maybe the week will be a little bit bigger. Maybe you will have a little bit better chance to win, but they will also accept lower money. For example, nice example is moneyline bets, where you bet on outright winner of the final game, right? And first 5 innings, which is half game, and usually the juice is bigger with first half innings, because they get less volume. Okay, but what are money line bets? You simply bet on the outright winner of the game. So let's say Red Sox and Yankees are playing, and you bet on Yankees to win the game. Okay, if Yankees are favorite in American odds, they are represented with negative odds, so you need to bet more for the same, right? You, because if they have better chance, you will need to pay a little bit more, right? So you bet 150 to win 100. Okay, if they are underdog, which means that they have that market thinks that they have fewer chance to win this game, you will pay less, but you will get more. The reward is bigger. If you remember that example with Kim Kardashian, so if you will approach her, the chances are probably smaller, and the reward from your friend will be bigger, right? And in this case, you bet 100 to win 130. If we use decimal odds, the odds above 2 are underdog odds. Above, below 2, like 1.5, are odds for favorites. Okay. Then we also have Runline bets. This is type of bets similar to spreads in NFL and in NBA. What bookmakers want to do, they want to intentionally set the odds so that are close to 50-50. Okay, so if we have a very good team and if we have very weak team, let's say they will give to the weak team 1.5 runs, and then this is basically what we're looking for. Okay, so if your team wins by 2 or more, then this is your winning bet. But if they win only by 1 run, this is not enough, because at the start of the game they give to the weaker team 1.5 runs, and to the strongest team they will give minus 1.5. Okay, in baseball it is usually 1.5. We can also see 2.5 if there is really bigger discrepancy between the two teams, but usually we see 1.5 runs. Okay, in this case, favorite must win by more than 1 runs. Underdog can lose by 1 run. Okay, this is why we see decimal here. Okay, we also have another version of this run line. Sometimes you will see not 1.5 runs, but you will see 1 run, which means that if your team loses by exactly 1 run, then you get money back. So you don't win and you don't lose. Okay, and this is another way how they express the odds. Okay, more and more popular are first half first half game bets in baseball, because as I will explain later when we will go deeper with pitching statistics and analyzing the games. In last years, starting pitchers don't go that deep anymore, and then bullpens and reserve pitchers or relievers start playing, and many times you cannot predict who will pitch from the bullpen, because it is a strategy of the game, depends on many factors which we don't have any control. But from the start of the game, we usually have starting pitcher listed, or at least we know who will pitch, and then you can focus on this first part of the game. And first half innings are getting more and more popular, because for many bettors it is easier to analyze. Okay, one more thing with moneyline bets. uh, we have different bookmakers, we have different locations, and some bookmakers will have pitchers listed, and some bookmakers will not list pitchers. What that means? That means, for example, that Dodgers are playing with Clayton Kershaw, and the bookmakers will have Clayton Kershaw as listed pitcher. And if for some reason he will not pitch in this game, if for some reason they will scratch him, or if if he will be injured just before the game start, and you already placed a bet, if bookmaker has pitcher listed, then the bet is canceled. You will not lose money, you will not win money. Okay, but after the COVID, I will also talk a little bit about that specific season where there will many things, COVID protocols, and there just before the game start, the whole starting lineup didn't play, and you already had the bet and you couldn't do anything about this. After that, some bookmakers just remove that option and they simply don't have pitchers listed, so they simply have the teams, and that's it. Whatever happens happens, and in these cases you simply hope for the best. Okay, but those are two different types of information that you can also look. So bookmakers can list pitchers, and bookmakers maybe don't list pitchers. Okay, but now I want to show you first half bets examples. Okay, most common is when you bet on a team to win first half, and many times you will see zero here, which means that if you bet on Red Sox and you see zero or money line, that means that if they are leading after first 5 innings, you win a bet. If the game is tied after 5 innings, you get money back. You don't win, you don't lose, you get money back. Okay, and of course if they are trailing, you lose a bet. The second option is plus 0.5, which means that you will win a bet if Red Sox are not trailing after 5 innings. Okay, so they can lead after 5 innings. Your bet is also winning bet if the game is tied. This is one of my favorite bets. This is a good bet because if you have let's say weak team, and if they have a good pitcher, they can survive first 5 innings in a low scoring game, and it can be a tie, and usually you get good underdog odds on this. And this is plus 0.5. This is exactly what it represents. Okay, then you can bet on Red Sox plus 1.5 or plus 1.5, which means that they can trail by 1 run, and bet is still a winning bet. It can be tie. You can also win after they can also lead after 5 innings, and this is a winning bet. And this bet is a losing bet if they are trailing by 2. Okay, if let's say Yankees are leading after 5 innings by the results 5-3. Okay, then we have this example, Red Sox minus 0.5. Which means that if you bet on Red Sox minus 0.5, they must lead after 5 innings. Okay, tie is not enough. Okay, and of course, if they are losing after 5 innings, it is also losing bet, but they must lead after 5 innings, and in this case, they must lead by 2. Okay, those are examples of run lines or spreads or Asian handicaps or whatever we call it. In different parts of the world, they call it differently. But for me, when I explain sports betting, the definitions and glossary is not important. Okay, it is important that you understand what is going on. Okay, we can call it apples, peas, strawberries, whatever. The most important thing is that you know that you understand. Okay, don't try to remember all the things. You simply need to understand what the probabilities, what is going on, and what you get. Okay, that's simply as that. Okay, then we have second common bet types. On totals, over under bets, it is very simple. You simply bet if in the game will happen more or less runs. Usually we combine both teams runs. So if the game result is 7-5, that means 12 runs happened, and you before the game start, you say it will happen, I don't know, more than 9 runs or less than 9 runs. And in this case, if you bet over 9 runs, and if happened 12 runs, you won a bet. Okay, you can also you also have other options like Grand Salami, where all the teams runs, and you can bet on one team how many runs will score more or less, all kind of combination. But this is basically on, over, on, under bets. And we also have two different types. This is also important. If you have decimal here, okay, you will either win or lose bet because let's say that the total runs in this game is 8, then and you bet under, you are correct. Okay, if in this game 9 runs happen and you bet on under, you lose. Okay, but if you bet on 8 runs, okay, bookmakers offer either 8.5 or 8, such types, right? Then if exactly 8 runs happen, you get money back. Okay, so it is avoid. So you have then basically 3 options. You either win bet, you either lose bet, or you get money back if they score exactly this number of runs. Okay, and then we have third type of bets. They are a little bit less common, but more and more popular, proposition bets. For example, players runs, you can bet on how many runs will player score, or strikeouts for the pitcher. You can also make long-term bets on outcomes like division winner or season champions. This is also popular among bettors, but usually bettors don't want to wait so long. Usually bettors want daily action. And of course, we also have specific game segments like first inning score and something like that, and also live betting. I'm not, I personally am not a fan of live betting because I don't want to sit in front of computer whole day and watch games, because I think there are much greater things in life than sports betting. So I want to make analysis, and I usually even don't watch games because I think watching games is waste of time. But I will talk about these things a little bit later. But you can also bet on live. So you simply sit in front of computer and watch game, and then bookmakers offer all kind of different bet types, and you can simply bet. Okay, so basically baseball offers many opportunities, and from better to better, it depends what you like and what you want to attack and where you want to find the edge. Okay, and now we will talk about the parlays. I want to show you pros and cons. Parlays are one of the most popular bet types, or things that bettors make on a daily basis. I think that most bettors play parlays. I have one uh, theory why bettors play parlays. There are basically two reasons, I think. First one is bettors have too small bankrolls. So of course, if somebody will tell you bet with 1% of your bankroll, and if you start with $1,000 American, and then you calculate this is basically $10 American, of course you will not bet on the odds of minus 150, because you will make $10. So who wants to make $10? This is not attractive, and that's why they try luck, and they put many games on one ticket, and they try to hit one lottery winner. This is the first reason. And the second reason why people bet parlays, because once they see sports betting, they don't believe they can win, right? And they usually don't win because they don't take it seriously. But if you don't believe that you can win, uh, but you still love baseball, you still want to bet, then you want to make that one shot, and maybe you're lucky and maybe you have fun. But I saw these two reasons why most bettors try to bet on parlays. So what are parlays? You basically need to combine multiple bets in one wager. Let's say we have 15 games, and you say I will bet on Yankees, on St. Louis, on San Francisco, on Dodgers, and all these four teams must win in order that you get a winning ticket. Okay, if one bet loses, you loses a bet. Okay, of course all the odds multiply. For small amount of money you get much more, but the chances of your success are also much smaller. So higher potential payout due to multiplied odds. They are very attractive for sports bettors. Bookmakers also promote them, and I will explain mathematically why they promote them in next few minutes. But of course, all individual bets must win, which is a problem. Also, higher risk, overall probability decreases exponentially. And I would also say, even if you have plus EV, which would work in theory, most bettors don't have the discipline, patience, and strategy or bankrolls to go with the variance that will come with this. Okay, so let's say that for somehow you make 10 leg parlays. Okay, 10 leg parlay with 10 teams. Okay, and every single team must win. And let's say that somehow magically you have the edge in the long run. You have the edge. Okay, but the odds are very small, so it can happen that you will lose 200 parlays in a row, and then one winning parlay with will be so big that it will pay back every other 200 losses. But most bettors don't have 200 units to bet these parlays. It is not only hard with money, but also psychologically. Imagine that you lose 100 times, and if you play huge parlays, this will happen. Of course, during the lifetime, people forget how many parlays they lost, because they are constantly losing, and then once they win, but they lost all the money, right? So it is very hard psychologically. It is also almost impossible to win, because people don't have in theory so much money, because then you should have, I don't know, 10 millions, and then you divide into 1000 parts, okay? And people simply don't have bankrolls to do this, okay? So this is the problem, okay? And if we compare with single bets have higher probability of success but lower payouts. Professional bettors, sharp bettors, those who take betting seriously, they stick to single bets, okay? Of course, you can bet parlays, 2-leg parlays. When I started betting, I was also betting on parlays, but we were combining one or two. I also knew that I had huge value against my local bookie. I remember NBA online bookie dropped odds from 1.9 to 1.20. My local bookmaker had at 1.80. I had a huge value, and I combined these odds, and I could make money. But this is getting much harder. And of course, if you want to win in the long run, if you want to look at sports betting as an investment, single bets are the best way to do this. And now we will jump to the spreadsheet, because I want to show you why bookmakers promote parlays and why bettors lose playing on parlays. And you will see how much money you lose if you put more games on a ticket. Okay, so what we learned so far, we know that if we have 0.5, 0.5, let's say that we have Red Sox, and we have Yankees, and let's say that they have 50-50 chance. The fair odds would be 100 and 100. In decimal would be 2.2. Okay, this is something we already know. You can also go back to the video where I explained break-even odds, implied probabilities. But if the fair odds, okay, that will be probability, and that would be fair US odds and fair European or decimal odds, okay? What bookmakers do? They simply lower to minus 110, or in decimal 1.91, 1.91, okay? This is what we know, okay? If you bet on single, and let's say that the odds that we know exactly that the probability is 50-50, okay? If we bet on single, if you bet on Red Sox, okay, the fair would be fair odds would be 2, right? Or 100. Unfair or bookmakers odds is 1.921, okay? Okay, so how much you lose? Okay, we will calculate this. Let's say this is a single bet. It is very simple to calculate. If the odds would be fair, and if we bet, let's say, 100 American dollars, okay, this will be our base. So we already previously calculated the profit, so we can do this one more time. So what we need to do, we need to multiply this with this number, and we need to take away this, and we get the profit, okay? So if the odds would be fair, then we will get the profit, okay? So profit fair, okay? Profit bookie, and then we will calculate the difference and how much you lose in percentage, okay? I will do like this. So what is profit from the bookie? You can, bookmakers odds are 1.91 instead of 2, or minus 110 instead of plus 100. So I will multiply this with this, and we need to take this away. So instead of 100, we get 91. As you see, we lose $9 with every single bet, okay? What is the difference? We can do like this minus this, $9 difference. We can do like this. So, and what is the percentage compared to fair odds? Compared to fair profit, it is 9%, okay? I will just make it percentage here, okay? So you lose percentage, you lose, okay? This is important, okay? This is important. How much you lose? 9% if you bet on single bet, okay? Now let's do what happens with double. So you bet, today we have 15 games and you bet on Red Sox and you bet on, let's say, Dodgers, okay? And for easier calculation, we will say that the odds that both have 50% of chance to against their opponent, okay? Fair odds would be 2 and 2, okay? Book is 1.91. So parlay, so double leg parlay, okay? The odds would be, we need to multiply, right? This multiplied by this, okay? The fair would be 4, and it is the same. So we also need to multiply this, okay? You can check it. So we multiplied 1.91 multiplied by 1.91, okay? Okay, so what is profit? So we need to look at this, okay? So we need to look at this, okay? This is what we are looking for. What would be fair profit? If we bet $100, the fair profit would be 100 multiplied by this, and we need to take this away, right? Just a second. This multiplied by this minus this, okay? The fair profit would be 300. And profit from bookie, because instead of 4 we get 3.64, okay? Let's calculate this multiplied by this odds minus this odds. So we don't get 300 profit, we get only 264. So what is the difference? This minus this. And what is in terms of percentage? How much you lose in terms of percentage? Okay, you lose 11.73%. I will just make it like this to get the style. So this divided by this, and you see with single they take away, or you lose 9%. With double you lose 11%. And let's do now for triple. If you add 3 games on a ticket, let's say Red Sox, I will make it like this, and I will, okay, this is triple leg play, okay? And let's say that you also bet on I don't know, Miami, okay? And they also have the odds of 2. Bookie is 1.91. You can also calculate this for NBA, for NFL. You say Kansas +7, Patriots -3, whatever, right? And of course, this we need to multiply this, multiplied this, multiplied this. Okay, this is, we get full odds for the parlay. How much is profit? Simply this multiplied by this minus 100. Fair profit would be 700. Okay, but because they offer us unfair odds, you need to take this multiplied by this minus this, and we get 596. So you already lose $100 American in this parlay, and it is now even bigger, 14.70%. And I hope you got the pattern right now. With single you lose 9%, with double you lose 11.73, with triple you lose 14.74, and more and more and more, because bookmakers will have the edge. They make money because they lower the odds, or you bet on minus EV, and the more bets you put on a ticket, the bigger their advantage is, because their advantage is multiplying. Okay, and this is simple math. That's why sticking to single, this is your best chance to win at sports betting, unless you have some magical power where you will constantly get plus EV and huge bankrolls, and the mindset and the discipline and everything that comes together, because sports betting is not just a bet. Okay, it is multidimensional thing. Like anything in life, you need good bets, you need a system, you need head for this, you need discipline, you need to have character, patience, long-term focus. It is combination of many things, and with parlays it is very hard to do this. Okay, and parlays are one of the biggest reasons also why so many people lose, and why sports betting market and bookmakers are growing every single year. Okay, and because of that, we will overview of the sports betting market. I will show you who are the participants, who are the winners and the losers of sports betting market, and I will explain every single part of it. Okay, so as we know, in a very simple thing, market participants are recreational bettors, sharp bettors, and sports books. Okay, this is what we know. Okay, so recreational bettors, those are bettors that they don't take it seriously. Sports fans, they don't care about the numbers, they don't care about positive expected value, they don't care about going deep into the topic, and they represent 100% of money that comes into sports betting world. Okay, and from this money, then this is distributed to sharp bettors or winning bettors and sports books and everyone else who is working in the sports betting industry. Okay, K dynamics is simple. If we talk about the odds, supply and demand drive odds. Okay, bookmakers will always balance the odds. Early bets and public sentiment move lines. Usually, bookmakers open the odds and then bettors start betting and then they adjust the lines. Okay, and rapid data exchange, sharp bettors influence closing lines. I will talk about closing line value a little bit later, but for now, this is what you need to understand. And sportsbook role, they set initial lines, manage risk, and balance action. Okay, I like to say they open the lines, they tip the market. Okay, the market happens in three stages. Okay, starting point where they open the lines, then action is happening. Okay, flow of information, and the flow of information is also amount of bets, amount of money involved, and then the closing line where all the information is gathered and we get the most efficient line, and this is how this ecosystem works. Okay? And your goal as a sports bettor is to spot market inefficiencies. Opportunities exist where public money or bias creates mispriced opportunities. Okay, so it is not about picking winners, but about the price you pay. I will repeat this many times, but during this couple of hour masterclass, if you just remember this, that you should not pick winners, but always pay attention to the price. If you only got to this one idea, you will be on the right path. Okay, and as I already mentioned, we need to understand this one thing. Okay, sports betting market and the industry is huge. Okay, and money is not coming from government. Money is not coming from I don't know, from the space. The money in sports betting world is only and exclusively coming from losing bettors. Okay, every single dollar that is paid for affiliate marketing, for ads, for bookmakers employees, for LeBron James, who is making, I don't know, contract with FanDuel or DraftKings, or you see all these influencers or social media, everything comes from losing bettors. Okay, there is no other source. So everyone is paid by losing bettors. Okay, the goal of sports betting world is to make money, and everyone has a strategy. Some people bet on sports, some people make affiliates, some people make podcasts, some people create YouTube videos, some people create courses, some people sell picks, some people are on Twitter. But the goal of sports betting world is to take money from losing bettors and make money. That's the harsh reality, okay? And losing bettors are filling this funnel, and then everyone else who is involved in sports betting world they are taking their piece of cake. And in the sports betting world, we have winners and the losers, and this is what I will explain right now. So in sports betting world, losing bettors fill the market. Okay, there is no other way, as I said, and I will explain the winners and losers of sports betting world based on participant, how much they risk, how much they make profit, and if they make profit by actual betting on sport. Okay, because you will be maybe surprised that those who are not bookmakers and that make most of money are betting sites with free picks. Okay, and I will explain, but let's start with the first one. The king is the bookmaker. Okay, the bookmakers control the game, they set the odds, they attract the market. Their only goal is to create an environment. Okay, so this is their only goal. They create nice ads, they pay form ex book bettors, they create blog posts, they create podcasts, they basically do everything to create an environment so people start betting. Okay, they talk about sports, about players. The only goal is to bring more and more people into the funnel. And we know that most people don't love math, most people don't love analyzing the games, most people don't take it seriously, and we know from the start that these people will lose. Okay, the game is extremely hard and they know it, and the only game they need to play is to bring those people into the game. Okay, they need to give them false idea that they will win. How they do this with different tactics, and then what they do, they simply lower the odds. They take commission, and on a larger scale of people who bet on both sides, they make money no matter what. So this is cash printing machine. Okay, this is they have very small risk. The risk is basically building a business paying their employees, paying for marketing. This is risk. But once they have said this, then the risk is not big. Okay, they make huge profit. They make huge profit. We know, even if you just use common sense, just look around. We see sports books everywhere, ads. They are growing more and more. The market is growing. We don't see bettors like stars. Okay, maybe 2-3 bettors we know, Billy Walters, maybe someone else, but bookmakers are growing. So those are the winners. Okay, profit by actual betting on sports. They don't bet on sports, but if I'm completely precise, they basically bet on every single game. Okay, they bet against you on plus EV while you bet on minus EV. So imagine they have millions of bets every single day, and every single bet is plus EV. No wonder why they make so much money. Okay, so once people bring money into the market, then this money goes to bookmakers. Okay, and then of course they need to hire people by betting world. Okay, so those are developers, marketers, podcasters, creating blog posts. Sometimes you will see someone who will bash every single better, and then he creates a blog post for bookmaker. So this is basically the tactics. They create an environment, they try to bring more and more people, and they simply take cut of this. Okay, because this is the game, but nothing wrong with this. Okay, everyone is responsible for playing this game. Okay, the game of sports betting is taking money from others. This is the game, and we have different strategies. You can do this by betting, you can do this by being a bookmaker, you can do this by affiliate marketing, by many things. You can create podcasts, and you bookmakers pay you commission or for the ad or something like that. But the game is making money. Okay, this is the game. Okay, that's simple as that. Okay, and people who are hired by betting world, developers, those who work in the office, risk is none, basically, because they get the salary. Profit depends if you are, I don't know, data scientist, or if you're a developer, maybe it depends on the salary. Okay, and many of them don't actually bet on sports. Okay, then we have affiliates. We have specialized websites or influencers that promote bookmakers, and they get commission 30%, 20%. We also have bettors who promote bookmakers, and if you are creating some content, you should also do this. Okay, why not? If you will not take this part of money, somebody else will take this part, because most people are not serious about sports betting anyway, and they will lose, and you can simply take part of this money by promoting bookmakers. And this is trick marketing. Okay, they risk is none, and the profit is big to huge. Okay, because with affiliate marketing you can make 30-40% from losing bettors, and it is strictly affiliate marketing. Many of these people don't even bet on sports. Okay, then we have betting portals and forums, and all kind of even odds comparison sites. The goal is to create an environment of sports bettors who talk about bets, about parlays. They argue, they fight against each other, but the goal is that you bring them in one room or in one space. You have basically non-risk. You create affiliate links again, and you can make good profits. Many don't bet, so they don't make a profit by actual betting, or they are losing bettors. The owners of these betting portals can be losing bettors. They just need to have marketing skill and bring all the bettors together. Okay, then we have peak monitoring sites, or odds comparison site as well. What they do, so basically you create again one environment of bettors who plays bets with imaginary money, and then inside you have bookmakers, affiliate links, and you share profit with the bookmakers. Those are all winners because they make money. Okay, as I said, we all have different strategies to take money from betting world. Okay, and they have none or small risk. You need to basically pay developers, create a website. Profit small to medium, depends on the website, and so on. Okay, many peak monitoring sites can also charge for tipsters, so they can show their results. There were also many shady things in the past where peak monitoring sites were promoting handicappers, or even giving them better results if they pay them. But this is something which is happening in all industries, such thing. Okay, but those are also businesses that make money in sports betting world, and they mostly don't bet on sports. Okay, then we have sports handicappers, touts, tipsters, all kind of people who share picks, share advice, courses, whatever, right? The risk is small to none if they don't bet. Profit is small to big, depends on many things. And many of those, they are either losing bettors, or maybe they make money. It depends. Okay, so this is combination of all. So they bet. They also have marketing skills. They also want to combine this. And one more thing, I have nothing against any of these participants. Okay, this is very important. I have nothing against selling picks, affiliate marketing, betting portals, odds comparison sites. I have nothing against this, because the goal is to take money. Even if you just bet on sport, someone else need to lose so you can win. Okay, this is not a fairy tale. So we are not saints. Okay, so if you win money, somebody else will lose it. Okay, because as I said, money, your money that you win comes from losing bettors. not from anyone else. Okay, UNICEF is not giving us money, government is not giving us money, so losing bettors will pay. Okay, so this is a game, and then different strategies people have. Like my friend said, everybody has a mating strategy. Okay, and in sports betting everybody has a mating strategy or winning strategy. Okay, and some people combine these strategies. Okay, uh, and this is completely okay. I just want to explain how this works. Okay, I don't judge. Then we have sharp bettors. Those are bettors that actually make money by betting on sports. Okay, so longevity is very important. If you can stay in the long period of time, if sports betting can change your life, how much money you make, if you can beat closing line, if you have well-defined systems and strategies and betting models to actually pick the games, or if you're just guessing and you're lucky, those are all kind of things that define sharp bettors. But usually they risk is medium to big, because as I said, sports betting is extremely hard. It is not easy. It is possible. The concept is very simple, but it is hard to execute, because it is not only about what you will bet, it is also about the mindset. You need to be positive optimist, you need to love this game, and so on. But those are people who are usually very analytical. They bet on sports, and they can win from small to big. Okay, depends on how much money they have, depends on the bookmakers option, and many other things. Okay, then we have social media handicappers. uh, they risk small to none, also profit small to big, mostly based on selling picks. And most social handicappers that you see, that show you record nine run or sell well plays or something, locks, guaranteed plays, most of them are losing bettors, but they make money by selling this information. This is their strategy. Okay, and everyone can pick what he will do with sports betting. And then we have scams. Most of those scams are coming from Telegram groups, also on social media. So if you are connected with anyone in sports betting world, if he shows his face, and if he stands behind, this is usually a good start. Once you see those golden Vegas capper, or I don't know, in Telegram groups, mostly in Asia and Europe, or fixed games, this is just run away. Okay, and if you fall for this trap, again, the full responsibility is on you. But scams also make small money. Sorry, small scams can also make small money, but they don't make any money by betting on sports, because they simply don't have the ability to make money on betting on sports. Betting is intellectual game, and they don't have the ability to do this. What I think about fixed games, and so I am against the crime. Uh, it is more about character. I don't want to judge, but this is not for me. Okay, and then we have, those are the winners. Okay, those are the winners. Why I say winners? Because all those people take some kind of money from betting world. Okay, either they make money by betting on sports, like sharp bettors, either they sell information, either they work with bookmakers, or combination of all. Okay, and everybody has his own strategy. Okay, there is no one without strategy. Okay, only people who are without strategy are the losers. Okay, losers are, and I'm not saying losers in a bad way, losers because they lose money. Okay, everyone is a beautiful person in the world. Okay, I'm just talking strictly about sports betting world and the market. Okay, and those are people who lose money in sports betting world. Okay, first we have recreational bettors. Okay, um, I divided them into groups. Okay, first are fun bettors, recreational bettors, sports fans. Okay, they know they will lose. Okay, and they will say, okay, I can lose this money, I can afford this, I will not go into the sports betting topics, I will not go into the analytics, I will not even bother with this. When on Sunday we have NFL game or baseball game, I will place bets. I will take a beer with my friends. I will have fun. I can lose, I don't know, 500 American dollars per year, because I can afford this. So I will risk big, but profit, there will be no profit. And I will also not make money actual betting on sports. Okay. This is okay, this is okay group. The most vulnerable group or most critical group are followers, or those bettors who don't take it seriously. They follow sports peaks. They don't understand betting. They are on social medias, on Reddit, arguing about winners, about parlays, and those are the most critical and vulnerable group. Okay, they don't have, they don't, they risk huge. Not that only they risk their money. They, many of them, they risk also their well-being. They don't make a profit, and they also don't have the ability, or they don't make profit by actual betting. Okay. Uh, and I like to say they're all fucked by everyone else, okay? Because they will give money to sports handicappers, to those, to affiliates, to bookmakers, everyone, and they basically fill all the market, okay? If recreational bettors or those bettors who bet occasionally, they place couple of bets per year, they're okay. But those who have the false feeling they can win, their most vulnerable group. Okay, and if you don't take betting seriously, and if you can figure out that sports betting is not for you quickly in your life, then this is a win. Or you can go other path, and you go all in with everything that you have as a person, and you try to outsmart others. Then you can also jump to others. But those are the people. So in sports betting world, as I already mentioned here, in sports betting world, those losing bettors, recreational bettors, and followers, like I say, those who follow sports peaks on social media, on YouTube, on Reddit, on everywhere, without taking this seriously, they are bringing the money to betting world, and everyone else is paid by them. Okay, and this is how betting market works, and I think this is very important to understand. Okay. And now I want to talk a little bit about sportsbooks or bookmakers, because without them you cannot bet. Okay, there are good, there are bad, and this is, I believe, full responsibility of every sports bettor to make a research, because we live in different countries, we have different options, we live in different states, we have different laws and regulations. We are all different as characters. Okay, I saw bettors who are betting with some strange local bookie with huge margins. They're limiting them, and such betting will never bring any profit if you have some shady bookmaker. And then the bettor will say, I don't bet online, I don't bet offshore, I don't bet with bitcoins. And then of course you have limited options, right? And this is completely full responsibility of every single sports bettor. But I can give you some directions. We can show what are currently good options on the betting market, and then it is up to every sports bettor if he will decide to bet. I received an email from someone from Asia once, and he said that he can bet only with local government bookmaker who has 20% fees or something like that. And my answer was, I would not even bet, because you will not have such an edge against the market. Okay, but this is up to every single person. But I will give you the direction how you can research and how you can find good bookmakers. So, but first, what are these? Those are companies that accept bets on sport events, because it is not practical to run around the country and ask people, hey, do you bet on Yankees? I bet on Red Sox. This is not possible. So we need some environment. Okay, we need some website. We need some something that hold those contracts between people who bet on sports. Okay, and of course they need to pay developers, they need to build this environment, and this is how this works. Okay, but there are different categories of sports books, and first we can categorize them in sharp books and soft books. Okay, and some example are Pinnacle, SIERA, Bettors, Bet Online is also good. They have early odds, big limits. They also accept sharp bettors, low margin betting. They set line close to the true probabilities, and they will not limit or kick out winning bettors. They will use them to adjust the lines. Okay, so instead of kicking them out, they use their information and adjust the lines. Okay, and that's why they are the sharpest books, and many other books or sports books or these other companies, they simply don't make their own lines, they simply copy those lines. Okay, and that's why you see so many betting strategies where people bet on sports on shady bookmakers or on soft bookmakers, and they just take pinnacle odds, compare them, and if they get better odds with soft bookie, they bet on soft bookie. Okay, this also comes with other problems, because this will not make you a sharp better, because somebody who is sharp is actually betting at pinnacle. You want to be that guy, not that guy who's following those picks. But about this a little bit later. But to understand, there are some bookmakers that make the lines, accept winning bettors, will accept larger amounts, lower margins, and so on. Then we have soft books. They are mostly focusing on marketing, promotions, and attracting casual bettors. But I would say also that they can go from good, bad, and ugly. Okay, it is not just bad, it is not just good. You can stay with them for a long period of time. The betting market is growing every year. Bookmakers are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they have also more tolerance to accept bets, to pay you, and those amounts are not small. Okay, but it is up to you to research markets, to research what are your options. But definitely online is the way, because you cannot run with your ticket like 50 years ago to your local bookmaker, because during the time the line can move, because the lines are moving all the time. And then we have some shady books, those who will not pay. Those are usually unknown websites, and I would not even. Bookmakers need some time to get reputation. Many bookmakers, many websites, many sports books are good, but there are also many shady books. And I will show you how you can research on Perplexity. And then we have betting exchanges, bet brokers, and other ways to bet. Betting exchanges. This is one concept where you bet against other bettors. So you're not betting directly against a bookmaker. They're just the middleman between connecting two bettors. Okay, a good thing about exchanges is that they will always promote more betting, winning bettors, because every time when you win, they take small commission and they support winning players. Right? This would be perfect or ideal sports betting world, where we would just bet against each other, and then there would be only one service that will just take care of this contract and then nothing else, and they would take just small commission. This would be an ideal sports betting world. The problem with exchanges is many times, of course, low liquidity, because if you bet on money lines, on baseball, on NFL, you have enough liquidity, right? But if you bet smaller markets like propositions, like other smaller markets, the problem is that if you bet on, I don't know, first 5 inning over under 3 runs on the game between Pittsburgh Pirates and Cincinnati Reds, then on the other side of the world must be someone who is also willing to take this bet. Okay, and this is the problem. The sports books are much bigger, and they can do this, but exchanges still not. But with main events, money lines, soccer leagues, NFL, NBA spreads, there is a good liquidity right now. In USA, you have profit exchange, in Europe, Matchbook, Betfair. There are also bet brokers, where you basically use some service that can bet on other bookmakers that you cannot access to. There are different ways how you can bet. Some people use agents. Some people, if you know someone in other country and you trust him, so he can give you account, you can bet there. But there are different ways, and this is up to every single person. Okay, how he will do. Okay, there are different ways, and I will now show you how you can find this. How you can find information, at least for the start, where to bet. So simply go to Perplexity AI, and it is free, and we will check. So tell me what are the best sports books for US bettors. Uh, rank them based on sharp, soft, and recreational Recreational Bookmakers. And that's it. Okay, we'll see what answer we get. Okay, so this is AI tool. Many of you probably know how to use this, but if you go to Perplexity, he will Google for you. He will make a research. Okay, Sharp sports books, bookmaker, also good. Pinnacle for the international, circa, bet online, Heritage, he said, Soft, FanDuel, DraftKings, MMG, Caesars, Bet 3.5, Recreational, Fanatics, Hard Rock, Bet Rivers, and so on. Okay, so top bookmakers, those. And you can make a research. Okay, then you can, for example, if you live in, let's say, I live in Nevada, what are my best options? And he will just start researching for you. Basically, he goes and Google for you, okay? And let's see what are the options, circa, and so on, okay? This is how you can quickly find in your location, okay? And then, of course, do your research, okay? But if we don't complicate too much, you should remember we have some sharp bookmakers and others or soft bookmakers. And sharp, these are sports books focused on taking large bets at very low margins. Their lines are usually very close to the true probability of an event because they gather information from sharp bettors and use sophisticated risk management. That's why I already mentioned that many bettors simply look at Pinnacle lines and then they try to find better odds at soft bookmakers, and this is basically their tactic, okay? And then we have soft bookmakers. Those are designed to attract casual bettors through heavy marketing, okay? And this is, if you understand this and if you can make a research about this, you can decide where to bet, okay? So how sportsbooks set their lines, this is one interesting topic as well. There are basically three main methods, or maybe something else, but of course, they use statistical models, historical data, and advanced analytics. And then, of course, they also have market feedback, adjust lines dynamically as bets come in. And then some other books simply copy leading books. Okay, so it is combination of many things, from statistics, from, of course, market feedback, because this also moved the line, this is also information, right? And many others, just as I said, are soft bookmakers. They are just a service for marketing. They copy the lines and take fee, and that's it. Okay, but those sharp bookmakers invite select group of sharp bettors to help refine their opening line. So they use their information, as I already mentioned. And what you need to understand is the opening against the closing line. Okay, the market is happening in three stages. Okay, the first is opening lines are set with limited information, and then bettors start betting and sharp bettors start betting, and then the line is changing. And then we have the closing line, when all the available information about the event is gathered into this one information. Okay, they are adjusted as more bets flow in, ultimately leading to more refined closing line. Okay, so what is closing line value? This is also a huge topic among many bettors. So I would say every professional bettor talks about closing line. Even so, some agree, some disagree. There are different opinions, views, and so on. But everyone who is a winning bettor, professional bettor, talks about closing line, understand closing line. Okay, so what is closing line? Imagine this: when bookmakers open the lines, then bets are coming in, and with the closing line just before the game start, all the information is inside that number. Okay, and this number represent the most efficient line, or the closest to true probability. Okay, and even the Pinnacle said that this is how they measure who is a sharp bettor. We can also check this. So Pinnacle said that so Marco Blume, at that time trading director at Pinnacle, has said that the closing line is on average very, very accurate, that the sharps are beating it, and his traders are trying to achieve the most efficient line with the information they have available. In other words, if you bet on plus 120, okay, and then just before the game start, the line is, let's say, plus 105, you made a good bet. No matter what is the result, you made a good bet. Okay, so this is also good if you check if you track your records, because on a smaller sample size it can show you if you have a skill or not. Okay, so many will ask, what is the connection between plus EV and closing line? Plus EV is how you pick bets. Closing line value will tell you if these bets make sense. Okay, I hope this makes, because plus EV is how you select bets, and then closing line will tell you if your taken odds was better than the market, the latest line that was available. Okay, what is the definition? The final odds set by sportsbook just before the event begins. Why it is important reflects the all available information and market adjustments. Consider the best indicator of true probability, which makes sense because the probability of an event is basically a combination of all the information. Okay, this is how you get probability, and if we have all the information at that time, this is the most true probability. Okay, you of course you measure your edge. If your entry odds beat the closing line, you're likely to getting a good value. So if you bet on plus 130 and the closing line moves to minus 105, indicates better value, and consistently beating the closing line is a hallmark of successful betting. Okay, so this is something every baseball bettor should track, because with this you can learn a lot of things when you bet, when are the best odds, if your system or strategy makes sense. Sometimes I am 15 units down, but I beat the closing line. I see that most of my bets, the lines drop down, the odds are better than the closing line, and of course I keep doing this. On the other side, it can happen that you make a profit in first 3 months, but you see that the lines are constantly against you, and then they just take the profit, and you need to change something. Okay, those are some directions you can use, but this is something that it is important. Also, I can show you how to calculate closing line. Let's jump to the spreadsheet quickly. Let's say that you take Red Sox at 130 or 120. Let's say this is 2.20 in decimal. Okay, US decimal, and let's say that closing line is minus 100 and let's say minus 105, which is 1.95 in decimal closing. Okay, but you also need to check what were the odds from other bookmaker, and let's say from the other team, let's say Yankees, for closing line, and let's say that the line was 1.3, let's say minus 100 and minus 107. So first thing you need to do, you simply calculate implied probabilities. You simply calculate the week, calculate you can calculate first fair odds. Okay, simply multiply by this. So I will show you all the steps so you can see this, and then you simply divide this, you get probabilities, then you check if you should have one, that's why it is fair, and then this is the hallmark. If you have decimal 2.2, your implied probability is this, right? And you simply check the difference, and you have positive closing line. If the odds would go up, let's say in this case we have positive, right? This is 4 point. You have positive closing line value, right? But because you bet on plus 120 and the odds, the closing odds were less, so you were paying plus 120, while others who were late, right, they were paying minus 105. So you get better price than the rest. So you outsmarted the market, right? And in other example, let's say that the odds went up. Let's say you bet on Red Sox at plus 120, and then the odds went to 130, and let's say minus 145. So this is 2.30 minus 100. this is 1.69 in decimal, you see you have negative closing client value, and this is how you can calculate. You can always calculate the fair odds, fair probabilities, and then you can check simply check the difference. Okay. And now we can start focusing on how to become profitable baseball bettor, okay? First, you need to understand sports betting, which is something we already covered. You need to pick a good bookmaker. Then you need to set up your money and bankroll management. I will explain how I see this, okay? There might be some other definitions. People see this on a different way, but I will explain how I see this, okay? And what worked for me. Then you will need to find information, gather information, process the data. You need to be a little bit detective so you can find information, because the market will grow, the things are changing. Sometimes you will need to find information about the pitcher, about the players, and then you can include this into your analysis. Then you need to process the analysis, because once you gather all the information, then your goal is to get probability or the odds, so you can compare these odds with the bookmaker's odds, and you need to analyze all this data with some software, because you cannot do this on a paper or with your hand or in your head. Okay, there are different softwares or tools, if you like. If you are a programmer, you can use Python or R statistics. You can use Excel, Google spreadsheets. I'm not that smart. I cannot code. That's why I use Google spreadsheets, and it is working perfectly, because the concepts are the same, even if I need to make a copy paste or two more sometimes, but the job is done if you love this game. But you need to have some tool that can gather all this analysis, because you need to get your probability, your odds, so you can compare with bookmakers odds, because as we know, plus EV is the only concept that will bring you that will bring you profit. And this is the difference between your projected odds or your fair odds, or what you think is the fair price, and the market price, which is bookmakers odds, right? And this discrepancy or this difference is plus EV or minus EV, right? If you don't have the edge. And to do this, you need to make analysis, and then you bet only on those profitable bets where you find the value. Then you need to track it, because if you will track, you will know what you are doing, you can improve, you can see in which direction you're going, you also know how much money you lose or win. And of course, during all this time, you need to improve. This is nothing new. If you want to be successful at anything, even if you run a restaurant, if you play in basketball, if you run a business, even if you're a teacher in high school or on college, they always need to go to seminars. So people are improving all the time. So they buy books, they go to seminars, they get mentors. They are always improving. And this is the game in sports betting as well, okay, if you take it seriously, okay? But most sports bettors go through different stages, okay? And I will explain quickly evolution of one MLB bettor, and you can find yourself in which stage you are and what are your next steps, okay? The first is a losing stage. And usually most baseball bettors, and not only baseball bettors, but in general, sports bettors, they try to pick winners, okay? So they see the teams, they see the games, and they say, okay, I will bet on Yankees because they will win tomorrow, because they lost 7 times on a rainy day and they will win tomorrow, for example, right? And unfortunately, many of them are stuck in this early learning stage for years. Okay, they don't move forward. So everyone who is trying to pick winners is in this first really basic stage, and this is losing stage. Okay, then the next stage is usually when bettors start betting, and this some percentage of bettors are very lucky and they win a couple of bets, and they say, I went 5-0, I went 7-2, I'm good bettor. Okay, and this is very dangerous phase, because it short-term wins leads to overconfidence. And after they have one good week or one good month, they have overconfidence despite they don't understand betting, and then they are stuck for years and they lose much more money. It is usually even better that you lose a lot of money at the start in first, second month, and you say betting is not for me, and then you just have fun, okay? And many also are stuck in this. This usually comes with social media bragging and so on, okay? But serious bettors prioritize long-term results over temporary success. So when someone asks me, what is your results for last week? That's completely ridiculous question for me, or last month or something like that, because I look for last 27 years what betting brings to me, okay? And that's only that matters for me, okay? And if I would play 200 years, there would be, I don't know, maybe 3 years in a row that I will lose, because the longer you play, the more you will lose. But the more you will learn that you're a winning bettor, or if you're not, okay? So the longer you stay in the game, the longer the better you are better. Longevity is very important, okay? And those who brag about their 5-0, they are in this starting stage, okay? And then once they start losing, then they say, okay, this is not for me. I will just find someone who will do analysis for me. I will just sit at home, I will watch games, I will have fun with kids, I will have fun with my wife. And there is some other guy who will sit 8 hours in front of computer. He will have sleepless nights. He will study the game, and he will give me picks, and I will make a lot of money, right? Of course, this is, if you use common sense, this is not how the things work, right? But most people just want quick money. They want to do nothing and make a lot of money. But if you understand a little bit, Matt, how the market works, following other people's picks often results in losses or debt, and most abandon this approach after repeated failure. One of the problems is that if you want to find experts, first you need to become an expert of finding experts, okay? And this is very, very hard, because most people are not experts at finding experts. You need to understand betting, you need to understand closing line, you need to understand the sample size, you need to understand how he lives, how he thinks, you need to understand p-value, many things. And if you study this, you could use this time and study for yourself, and you can actually become that winning bettor. This is my opinion, okay? Because most people cannot even identify who is long-term winning bettor. And many bettors are simply lucky. Maybe I am lucky. Maybe we are all lucky in the long run, okay? So it is very... And tailing and following in general is a losing mentality. This is what I think. I'm not judging, but in general, if you tail, you are just following someone, okay? And nobody wins in anything if you just follow, okay? If you go deep into something, if you play basketball, if you play a guitar, if you run a business, if you run a restaurant, if you go deep with all your heart, either you learn something and you become better, and you get experience, and you can use this knowledge later, or you win, okay? If you follow someone, you don't learn anything. And if the goal is money, I think the paradox of making money is that if you want to make money, you should not do things just because of money. You should naturally do things that you love, and the money is then natural result of what you're doing, okay? But most people are in this losing stage. They either try to pick winners. They don't care about plus CV. They don't care about statistics. They don't care about the numbers. Then they are in bragging stage on social media, and then once they stop doing this, then they say, okay, this is not free, but I will tell someone, okay? I will not do... I'm too dumb for this. And I think most people are not dumb. They are simply not motivated to do this, and then they start following others, and this is not going to work, okay? And then we go to awakening stage. This is another step of evolution for MLB Bettor. At some point, MLB bettors say, okay, I cannot predict winners. Nobody can predict winners, okay? It is all about the price, okay? So this is when transition happens to understanding probabilities are much more important than predictions or picking winners, okay? This is very important case step toward consistent profitability. If you can start thinking in terms of numbers instead of thinking of winners, you are definitely better than most other bettors. Okay, even if you don't have a betting model, or even if you don't have a software or analysis, even if you check the game and if you say, okay, I will not try to pick a winner, I will try to check the odds, and I will try to guess which team is underrated in this game based on the odds. This is a very good step. Or you can also say in which direction the line will move. So instead of trying to pick the winner, try to guess in which direction will the line move. So if they open the Red Sox at plus 140, then you say, okay, the line will go up and the line will go down. And this is much better starting point than trying to pick if they will win or not. Okay, if you can switch this, then this is a good thing. But this is another this is evolution of sports bettors who understand that it is all about numbers. And then many of these bettors decide, okay, I will start making my own bets. Nobody can help me. Sports betting is basically a solo game. Of course, you can have agents, you can have friends, you can work together, but at the end of the day, it is really, really you, right? So at the end of the day, it is you against the market, okay? And you start making your own bets. Self-reliance begins. You start being proactive, and this is where you make a next step forward. You learn personal strategies, what works for you. Sometimes people find that baseball is not for them, or maybe that over under is better for them. Some people find that maybe propositions, you simply learn what works for you based on your bookmaker, when you wake up, and many, many other things. Okay, you learn about market dynamics and individuality. Okay, and then you decide, I bet on value and use numbers. So you start using numbers, you start using more and more analytics. So instead of reading news or watching games, you start using this extra time and actually looking at advanced statistics. I will show you where you can find these statistics, but you start paying much more attention to the numbers and the facts instead of emotions or gut feelings, what could happen, right? Or trends and so on. Okay, so you start using math data driven approach. You start using plus EV, some start using arbitrage, some line shopping. I will talk about probabilistic and non-probabilistic methods. I will explain everything, but for now, once you start using numbers, then you reject log-based methods like gut feelings and news hype. Okay, and then we move to the next stage of evolution of every baseball bettor. This is where you actually have a chance of winning. I personally use sports betting models, so you use tools where you gather information, and sports betting models will predict the probability of outcomes very quickly, because they can gather thousands of data, and you can customize them based on your ideas. You can find your unique angles, and then sports betting models are definitely essential after you exhaust bonuses, soft bookies, or hacks like odds comparison or arbitrage and so on. Okay, and then many bettors start tracking closing line. You focus on this, and if you can beat closing line in the long run, this is huge success. And then the last stage is, I realize how much I still don't know phase. This is where I believe true winning bettors and at the end, long-term winners embrace continuous learning, and market relativity drives pursuit of deeper expertise. Because I see so many smart bettors, they are much smarter than me. Sometimes when I see their betting models, their results, or their knowledge, I'm even stuck with the English language. But I see so many smart people, and this younger generation comes who can code, who can use computers, who I just become depressed. I cannot compare, and I don't want to compare with them. I just stick with my own things, with what works for me, and this is what I share with you. But I see so many people who are so smart. They are much better. They have amazing betting models, amazing betting algorithms. I see them on Twitter. So many great sports bettors. You can learn from them, and this is amazing. Okay, and before, when I started betting, I went through all these stages. So first I tried to pick winners, then first wins came, and I thought I'm the smartest guy on the planet, right? But then you see, a paradox of this. At the end, you realize that you are not even that smart. Sometimes I feel that I will lose everything once I see how smart are other people, right, who bet on sports. This is amazing, okay? And this is an evolution of one MLB bettor, okay? And if you can identify in which stage you are, you can move forward, okay? But before we start placing any bets, I would pay attention to money management and bankroll management, okay? And I will explain how I see this, okay? So what is money management, okay? So you need to treat betting like a business, okay? So you need to make decisions based on data, not emotions. Stick to predetermined staking plan, okay? So you have a plan. And I also recommend that you set goals and exit plan, okay? You need to have a risk control, only risk what you can afford to lose. Many bettors bet with the money they cannot afford. Sports betting is not escape plan, or sports betting should not be something for paying bills, okay? Sports betting is high risk investment because we have different level of risk investments. For example, you have bonds, stocks, crypto, you can invest in business and so on. Some investments have, I don't know, 2% per year, stocks, let's say 10%. Then we have, I don't know, Bitcoin or crypto, which can be a little bit more. And sports betting is that category of high risk investment, okay? And when we talk about money strategy, so to use betting as part of bigger money strategy, I would always say that first you need to have bigger money strategy, okay? Because it is not the same when someone has $1 million in portfolio, when he has stocks, I don't know, Bitcoins, business, whatever, and then betting is just 10% of his money, and then he can bet on one game and he doesn't care about what will happen. And then someone who has less $300 and he will bet $200 on a game. This is not good way, okay? So it is if you can start with whole money management, this will make your journey much easier, because once the things will happen, once the red streaks will happen, if you don't pay the bills with sports betting money, you will still stick to plus EV, even if you will see underdog play, and even if you will not believe it, but you need to believe the numbers, right? And if you need to pay the bills and this is yours less money, you'll be afraid to bet on plus EV. You will automatically try to hit the winners, and this is psychological thing, okay? You need to prepare all the environment so you can make good decisions, okay? And long-term sustainability, maintain the detailed records and regularly review and adjust your strategy, and not only in betting but overall, all right? So what I recommend, and this is not financial advice, okay? Everything I say, this is not advice, okay? You can take whatever you want from this video, okay? But I was living from betting, and then I started reinvesting these profits, and betting became only small part of whole picture. And I can say that it is much easier to bet when you have a bigger picture. Of course, you need more time to do this, but once you're in this position, you can take more days off. You don't need to rush plays. You don't need to chase losses. And this starts with money management principles, okay? And then we come to effective bankroll management. This is something most bettors are asking: how much to bet on one game? So first, you need to define your bankroll. This is the money that you will use only for sports betting, okay? No matter what. So this cannot be for paying bills or for paying food, nothing. This is the money you put on a side, and this is just for betting. And you must be comfortable losing this. If this is $100, if this is 10,000, whatever, okay? Then you determine your total funds and available for betting for your overall portfolio, okay? And then you set a unit size. One good advice is to bet around 1% up to 2% of your bankroll, okay? Professional bettors bet even less, but again, this all depends, okay? If you have 90% in other assets and betting is just 10%, maybe you can go with 3%. And if you know your strategy, if you know the odds, if you know drop downs, if you know your variance, it depends. But if someone has the only money that he has only for betting, then you need to protect this, okay? You can go even less with I don't know, 0.1% if you need, okay? Many professionals bet with even less than 1% per bankroll. Depends. everyone has different situation, okay? But the goal is that you divide your bankroll into smaller units, because bad streaks will happen, okay? It is at least good that you have 100 units, okay? So you can survive 100 units, okay? Because you will lose 10 games in a row. In baseball, there's a lot of games. There will be a lot of bets probably. If you find uh, in more years, you will have a lot of bets, and down streaks and losing streaks will happen. That's something. I went 319 at some point, and it will happen, okay? And you need to protect yourself against this. And then, of course, you can adjust for confidence and variance, consider slightly increasing stakes when you have a higher edge. But to know if you have higher edge, you need to calculate the odds, right? So if you calculate that Boston should be plus 100 and bookmakers offer plus 140, this can be one bet. But if you, let's say, calculate that Boston is minus 170 and they are plus 140, you have a little bit bigger edge, and you can adjust this. I use adjusted Kelly criterion for this, and stick with around 1 and 2 units, okay? And of course, accept that losing streaks are part of the game, and of course, regular reviews, monitor and adjust your strategy as needed. Focus long-term consistent growth over short-term wins, okay? So how to track your bets? The first and most important thing is that you record every bet. So when you bet, you put it in the spreadsheet, or if you use some betting tracking software. I like to use spreadsheets. I will also give you the link below, so you can download my spreadsheet, where you can also calculate closing line. I like to control my analysis, my spreadsheets. I don't want to outsource this to some other softwares or websites. I can also make comments sometimes. Sometimes I make a mistake. Sometimes I can make a comment why I did this. And then once I review it, I can see, okay, I lost 2 bets, not because of betting model, but because I put wrong pitcher, or because there was a rain or something like that, okay? And you can then see and adjust based on that, okay? And then, of course, review regularly and adjust strategy, use your data to improve decisions. When you track your records, win, loss record, and profit, this means nothing, okay? You need to have much more information. You can track ROI, you can track yield, closing line value. You can also track p-value, average odds, different bookmakers you can include. The more data the more information about your bets you track, the more information you will have, and the more useful information you can use to improve your game. Simple as that, okay? So how to pick good bets? You will need to use data analytics and simply leverage the detailed statistics, information, and data analysis. And then you need to project your odds with this information, because information turned into the numbers are probabilities, okay? So simply calculate the odds with betting models, or somehow get the price you're willing to pay. Many bettors just use Pinnacle as a benchmark, and then they try to attack some shady or soft bookmakers. This is one way, but at some point, I believe that every bettor will try to find his own way of betting. Maybe it is a combination of this type of betting with information, with betting models, but I believe that every sports bettor who is looking long term, he will try to at least create his own system, unique system, with either with spreadsheets, with some software or something like that, okay? Then you need to compare your odds with bookmakers odds and look for discrepancy, okay? So when bookmakers offer something, you look, you compare with your calculated price and identify undervalued opportunities and seek significant edge, and then you place bets, okay? And then I will now show you a couple of useful information and couple of books that you can use. So first thing you can do, we can go to Perplexity again, and let's say that you want to have some advanced statistics. Give me top sites with advanced statistics for baseball. Okay, you need to know how to find information, and let's see what we get, and I will show my sites that you can use. So let's check it. What we have: Fangraphs, Baseball Prospectus, Baseball Reference, Brooks Baseball, Baseball Savant, Odds Shark, and so on. Okay, those are some useful statistics. But let's say I will show you a couple of websites that you can use. One is RotoWire. Here you can find free daily lineups for the players, for the pitchers. You can also have some other probable pitchers and some other free information. Also, Roto Grinders. Those are fantasy websites where I use for the daily lineups or anywhere else for the daily lineups. Then you have daily baseball data. You can check some statistic for batter against pitcher. You can check the weather if you include the weather. Other tools, daily live player stats, bullpen usage. This will probably be more and more important in the future as well because this is changing. You can also use umpires and so on. Okay. Then we have Baseball Reference. They have. Let's check. Let's check pitching leaders for 2024. Or let's say teams. They have statistics, ERA plus, fielder independence pitching. They have many useful statistics that you can use, but I prefer Fangraphs. I also support this website. They have a good statistics. So let's check. I don't know, pitching, for example. So here you can find statistics for pitchers. You can select the league. You can select all pitchers, right-handed, left-handed. Then how they play in last 7 days, last 14 days, past calendar, 3 years. All kind of things. You can even add more stats, custom reports. Really good site. Okay, they have ERA, expected ERA, fielder independence pitching, expected fielder independence pitching. You can check what these statistics are. So those are good sites. Okay, and one of the biggest mistakes many bettors make is that they rely on mainstream statistics, but we will go a little bit deeper with what to look in the last model. Okay. And then, of course, it is always recommended to take books, courses. Simply try to become the best version of a baseball bettor. There are a couple of books you can take a look about baseball betting and betting in general that will make you better. And now the question is how to identify good bets. In other words, when bookmakers, for example, offer Red Sox plus 120, the question is not who will win this game, but is this good or bad price? And bettors all over the world try different handicapping styles or analyzing styles, and this is basically a sports bettors spectrum. On one side, we have non-probabilistic methods and recreational sports bettors. They try to pick winners and they try to read news, watch games, and they try to use intuition to guess the winner. On the other spectrum, we have probabilistic methods and sports bettors who use algorithms, sports betting models, rigorous analysis, and those we can also call them originators. And then in between, we have all kind of other methods, and many also use combination of different handicapping styles. Okay, but for now, what you need to understand is that we have intuitive or non-probabilistic methods, and we have probabilistic methods or methods that attack the price. And if we learn something so far, is that the probabilities and the odds are the most important thing. And if you use a handicapping style that don't attack probability, in other words, if you don't get probability before you bet, then you are using a non-probabilistic method and you don't get the answer about the most important thing. And if you want to win in the long run, you want to focus on probabilistic methods and attacking the price. So attacking the question and giving the answer about what is a good price. Okay. And first, we will explain quickly what are non-probabilistic or bet styles. So one of the styles that you can see on the internet are some kind of crazy systems claiming 97% winners, systems of guaranteed picks or locks, and most of those systems are based on martingale, chasing losses, and they're very risky. Okay, and the problem is they are not based on probabilities. They don't attack the question of probability. Okay, then we also have amateur predictions. This is what most bettors who start, they of course try to predict the winner. They can watch a sports show, and they listen to sports fans, commentators, casual analysts, and they try to bet based on this. And again, they don't give you the probability. When some commentator on ESPN say that Red Sox will win, he will not provide you with a clear, well-defined probability and what is his prediction based on some well-defined system or well-defined method, right? He just tried to pick a winner, and this is always a problem. Okay, this is non-probabilistic. Then we also have incomplete handicapper insights. If you follow sports picks, most handicappers will give you just let's say play Boston Moneyline. This is the worst case, okay? Because you don't have even the odds. Then if he say play Boston Red Sox plus 120, why is this a good bet? What is your probability? What is your probability? What is your calculated price? And how did you calculate the price, right? This is non-probabilistic again. And then we also have many bettors who try to bet based on trends. The problem of trends is that they are based on past performance, and those are non-probabilistic methods. Okay, I will explain this here quickly. Historical data limitation. So trends reflect past performance, not future outcomes. Okay, if some pitcher is 7-2 in last 9 sunny days, that doesn't mean that he will win again. And this is not again probability. This will not answer the question about what is a good price. Okay, this is just a trend that people believe. Okay, and of course trends always ignore probabilities and the odds. Trends don't provide final probabilities or projected odds, which is crucial, okay, for making informed bets and becoming a long-term winner better. Okay, also survivorship bias. Success stories may skew trends. Many failures go unnoticed, and trends are attractive, okay, because maybe probabilities and complex math and complex analytics is a little bit complex for an average better or person, but trends are very attractive. If I say that Clayton Kershaw is 5-2 on Sunday night games, this is very simple to understand, right? And because of that, many bettors use them. Many websites who create betting previews use them in blog posts. Okay. And the problem of trends is that you don't get probabilities. Okay, you can use them as part of your analysis if you like, but using only trends, they don't answer the question about the probability, and they don't attack the odds. They don't attack the price, which is most important thing. Just use common sense. Okay, if you want to make money, whatever you do, you need to attack the price. Okay, if you buy stocks, if you sell cars, if you even if you run a restaurant and you buy, I don't know, steak for one price, and then you need to sell it for double price, it is always about the price, and trends will not answer this question. Now let's move to probabilistic, or those that are based on price, and we can group them in two categories. First are more like market hacks, where you use other people's information and you try to find mispriced opportunities. And then we also have originators or bettors who bet with their own betting models. Okay, let's start with the first one, arbitrage betting. This is where you have two sports books, and then, for example, at one sports book you have Red Sox at plus 110. You bet on Red Sox here, and on the other side, at the second sports book, you bet on Yankees. Because you have plus money on both, you will make money no matter what. The problem with arbitrage is we know that bookmakers are limiting you. These opportunities are harder to find. It can also happen that you bet here and they will limit or close this option here, and you will lose. And this is more just a hack. Okay, it can help you to grow a little bit bankroll, but in the long run, this is very hard to execute. And bettors usually who start with arbitrage betting, they simply move to next methods. Okay, the second method, which is very popular right now, is where you basically compare odds from sharp bookmaker, where you assume that let's say Pinnacle has true probability because they are the sharpest, they have the best odds, and you simply remove the weak, you calculate probabilities. This is something I already showed you previously, and then based on this you make action. So then you try to attack soft bookie. The problem is, again, you are not becoming a skilled bettor. You will argue with bookmakers all the time. They're also signing up for these services, and at the end of the day, you're again mimicking just someone who is actually skilled better, who is actually winning better. But this is also one way that bettors use. You need odds screens or odds comparison website and pay service to this, because it is almost not possible to do this manually by checking the lines with your own eyes, if you like. But this is how you can do it. Also, if you have odd screens and you have different bookmakers, and if one bookmaker has discrepancy compared to other bookmakers, then this is also a potentially good bet. Okay, those are just some hacks that will help you to make some money, but they will not make you actual winning better. And if you want to win in the long run, you want to become an actual skilled better. Okay, then we also have steams. This is basically this happens if let's say with some sharp bookmaker sudden line movement happened. For example, let's say if Red Sox are minus 120, and then suddenly they drop to minus 115, and other bookmaker don't move the line correctly. Again, you are following what sharps are doing, so what some skilled guy is doing, and you're not skilled better, you're just mimicking what others do. So usually this happens when sharp better or syndicate action. Steam moves can signal high value bets but require fast execution. The same with arbitrage and also plus EV, because with AI and technology this is becoming harder and harder. And of course they are limiting you. Bookmakers openly say that they will limit you if you do these things. Okay, what are pros and cons of these methods? You can make quick profits. Many better starts with arbitrage. They build bankroll from 1,000, I don't know, to 5,000. Potential for short-term guaranteed profits with low risk. And you also risk that you will be banned. Easy to understand, because those are basically hacks. Okay, you don't need to even love betting. People just want to make money, and they can use these hacks. But there are also many other ways to make money. Me personally, I don't see a reason to do something just for the money. Okay, I see life and betting more as a passion or something that you love to do, and then you combine this, and the money is then natural thing that comes. But of course people use all kind of things and all kind of hacks to make money. Simple execution, just follow the odds and place bets. Automation potential, some aspects can be automated to save time. Some people also have some bots to do this, but again you will face a lot of problems with bookmakers. And then we also have cons: risk of account bans. Bookmakers will ban you many times. It can happen that, as again, you bet with the first bookmaker, and you also need to place bet with other bookmaker, and you need to have a lot of money because the profits are small. And while you bet at this bookmaker, you need to bet exactly the amount that is calculated, so you maximize your profits, and then the other bookmaker will not allow you this amount to bet, and then you have a problem, right? This is also not true betting skills. You also need a service to do this. You will need to pay monthly service to do this. Limited longevity. Bookmakers adapt and make it harder to consistently succeed. It is getting much harder and harder with technology and AI. This will be almost impossible in the future, because they will move lines immediately. When I started betting 27 years ago, my local bookmaker didn't move the line for whole day, right? And you could attack this, and they are now moving much faster. Okay, and bookmakers are aware of this. Many bookmakers sign up for these services, making it harder to exploit value, because arbitrage is mathematically proven way to make money, and you are basically beating a bookmaker, and they will not allow you this with the method that is 100% proven. This is why they will ban you. Okay, and fast reactions required. Speed is crucial, and with advanced technology, opportunities close faster. Okay. And another problem, I would say, this is more mindset problem, is that if you use these hacks, you're this guy and you want to mimic someone who is actually skilled better. Okay, this guy moves the line, he makes his own analysis, and at some point, if you want to bet for the long term, you want to be that guy. Not if you just follow these actions, then you're looking what some incognito some guy is doing. Okay, and I believe that no matter what you do, if you run a business, if you want to play a basketball, if you are running a restaurant, you want to be the best, and you want to be that guy, right? Not relying on some hacks all the time. Okay, and then we have sports betting models. Those are basically systems that use historical data, statistics, and algorithms to predict outcomes. Okay, I personally believe that the best sports bettors in the world are originators. They create their own systems, unique systems, sports betting models. We have very smart people to do this. We have complex betting models, a little bit more simple betting models. We have developers, and those are the guys that run the industry. They can also use combination of many other things, including information, including steams, including odds comparison. But a true skilled sports bettor, I believe, uses at the end of the day sports betting models, and of course he can combine all these options to maximize his returns and profits. Okay, what are the pros and cons of sports betting models? They will save you time, because if you want to analyze 15 baseball games every single day, you cannot just read news, check every single player stats, and compare with other teams. It is also not possible to watch games, because what is the idea of analysis in sports betting? You want to answer this question: what would be statistics if two teams are playing on a neutral field against the average team, right? And to do this, you would need to watch all the games, and with advanced statistics, you basically get all this information from someone else who take the information about the games, and you can put this into betting model based on your idea, based on your unique idea, and this will analyze all this information and process the data, so you get probabilities at the end. And this will save you time, because with sports betting models, you can in 20 minutes you can get all the projected odds, all the analysis for all the games, while this wouldn't be possible even in 24 hours if you want to do it properly. And at the end of the day, you would not even get probabilities, right? This is actual sports betting skill, because if you do arbitrage, this is basically not sports betting skill. You just need a service. If you follow what steams or sharp bettors are doing, then this is also just mimicking others. If you look what Pinnacle is doing, what is their price, you're also stealing their information. If you look at 10 different bookmakers, and then one soft bookie didn't move the line, this is also not a betting skill. You just need to have a service or someone who will tell you that this happens. So, but at some point you want to have some skill, right? So no matter what you do in life, this is what I believe. Okay, you don't need to follow anything that I say. I just give you in my video my opinions, my views, how I see the things. And of course, I can be completely wrong about this, but as I see life and sports betting and success, anything you do in life, I think the money should not be the main goal. And if you do it something, you want to be skilled, right? And actual betting skill is when you have your own system, when you build your own systems, betting models, algorithms, analyze games, and you find your own way how you get probabilities before bookmakers. Okay, so before bookmakers open the lines, you get your picture about what are you willing to pay for today's games, right? And this is actual betting skills with sports betting models. You can also project your own bets on unique way, because with more and more services, also bookmakers are signing up. And if you create your own betting model, you can always change it. It is your unique. Even if bookmakers get your betting model, they still need to project lines based on betting model. You can also change it all the time and so on. Okay, so it is basically unique way, and you can find angles where other bettors will not find, and this will exploit some opportunities that many others will not see. Okay, it is completely customizable. Once you understand the concepts a little bit, you can basically create your own models, create your own way of betting, and you can even create different models for different sports. It happened to me during the COVID. I have created my own betting for a completely new sport, esport, Counter-Strike. I didn't know anything about this, but I simply used some concept, and I'm not the best, I'm not the smartest guy, but I simply used my simple concepts, and I have created my simple betting model for esports, which worked fine back then. Okay, handle lots of data at once. So as I said, you can gather a lot of information, and it will process and get projections. Of course, the pros, those are the pros, and of course, it can be complicated and need regular updates. But this is the game of sports betting. Okay, if we play basketball, you need to jump. If you run a if you are a cook in the restaurant, you need to have a sense for taste and for cooking. In sports betting, we need to use data, we need to check the lines, we need to understand probabilities. This is simply the game of sports betting that we play. Okay, and you also need to rely on having good accurate data. So if you don't have good data, and if you cannot process it, you will also have a problem. When I created, let's say, esports betting model, there were three different sports, and first I checked what kind of data we have, and I found that the data that I understand most and the data that is available was Counter-Strike. I was not that familiar with other data, but those are the things that you need to rely, and then you can make amazing things with this. In the last model, I want to show you my process for analyzing MLB games. I will show you a couple of mistakes bettors make, and I will also show you where you can find statistics, which statistics are useful for analyzing games, and all these concepts, ideas that I showed you in this video, you can also apply to other sports, other bettings, including the mindset and everything else. Okay, but I want to start with four big mistakes MLB bettors make. One of the first biggest mistakes is that they try to fade some streaks, or they try to bet on streaks. For example, if one team is losing, let's say they lost 5 games in a row, they will automatically bet on 6th game because they think they will also lose the 6th game. Or if they win or lose 5 games in a row, and then they go against this, so they will say, okay, if they won 5 games, they will lose 6th game. Again, this is a big problem because they are not attacking the price. Every single game is unique event. Okay, it is independent event. You need to look at every single game, at every single odds as unique event. Okay, and it has nothing to do with what happened in last 5 games in terms of streaks. Okay, you should always look at probabilities, okay, and the price. The second mistake bettors make, they blindly bet on favorites, on underdogs, because they want to use some simple to understand concept to hit winners or hit picks or hit bets. Okay, but bookmakers will always adjust their game, that you cannot just blindly bet anything. Okay, even if you check past performance for underdogs or favorites, if you have large sample size, the vig will eat you alive. Okay, so always, again, every single game is unique independent event, and you need to analyze it and get probabilities and the price, and then act accordingly. Okay, not blindly doing something. Okay, the third mistake: many bettors ignore situations, bullpens. Many also ignore, I don't know, pitchers. So they just check the teams and they bet. Situations, what I mean by that, some teams are playing better against lefties. Some teams, are better against righties. Some pitchers are lefties, right-handed. Different situations, okay, and you should include this information into the analysis. Also, bullpens are more and more important if you are new to baseball. Baseball game is played usually starting pitcher start. I will show you the statistics how long he goes right now, and then they replace him with reserve pitchers. Okay, and many bettors simply ignore that second part, but this is becoming more and more important because starting pitchers don't go 9 innings or 8 innings anymore. They pitch much shorter, and then reserve pitchers are playing the game, and this needs to be taken into account. Okay, and fourth mistake many bettors make, and this is a big mistake. Most bettors use mainstream statistics, which has very little probabilistic power. They use ERA, batting average, runs per game, and as you will see, this is maybe not the best way to predict the games or predict the probabilities, not only in baseball but in every single sport. Why this is so? Because you don't want to know what happened. You want to know what can happen in the future. Okay, and because of that, we try to find statistics that are based on some regression analysis, so we can have expected runs, expected points, expected goals. Whatever you do, you want to see what can happen in the future, not just based on the runs that happened in the past, but we need to include more factors, so we get expected runs. I will give you a couple of examples of mainstream statistics. ERA runs, for example. I will give you one example here. For example, pitcher has 0 ERA after 3 games, which can happen. So we have, let's say, one bad pitcher, but he was very lucky in first 3 games. He had many walks, he had many hits, let's say, that opponent players were loading the bases, but for some reason he didn't allow too many runs. And then if you use just ERA, you will say his ERA is 0 or 1.5, and you will make a mistake because you are using completely wrong statistics. Also, if you use statistics for other sports, for example, for soccer, one team is attacking all the time and they didn't score a goal, and then the other team will have only one hit on a goal and they will score. And of course, you cannot use this as a relevant statistics. Okay, so you need to use advanced statistics, which will give you much better picture about how teams actually play, how pitchers actually pitch, and so on. Okay, the same with teams. One team can have, I don't know, 15 hits, no runs. Other team can have only 1 hit or 1 run. It can even happen that a team will not have a hit and they will score a run. So pitcher will walk a hitter, then he will make a walk, still, and then maybe some ball, and then he will score. And basically, it can happen that team will not have a hit, but they will score a run. On the other side, teams can have 15 hits and they will not score a run because they will be unlucky or they cannot close that last hit for the runs. And of course, if the second team will keep playing like this, they will not be lucky in every single game. On the other side, if this team was unlucky but they keep playing with a lot of hits, it is more likely that they will score. And if you use runs per game, one team will have 0 runs, the other team will have, let's say, 1 run or 2 runs or 3 runs, but this is not good. But if you use some regressed statistics or expected runs, the statistics will show you for one team, I don't know, expected runs is 4, for example, and the second will be much lower because it will regress to the mean, and this is something you want to use. Okay, and average baseball bettor will usually watch baseball games. He will take mainstream statistics. Right now, also more and more advanced statistics are shown on TV and on internet, but sticking to mainstream statistics is usually not good. Okay, and I will give you a couple of examples. We have two pitchers. Let's say if you stick with ERA, Wade LeBlanc, he had ERA 0.6, but his expected fielded independence pitching, I will explain the statistics that you can use that are much better than ERA, was 4.42. On the other side, at that point, John Gray, ERA was 4.84, but expected fielders independence pitching was showing that 2.42. What that means that we can expect that his ERA will go up in next games, and this ERA will go down. This is what I said. You want to know what can happen in the future, not what happened in the past. Okay, because we try to predict what will happen in the next game. Okay, same with hitting. Those are situational stats that many bettors also ignore. For example, we have a team, Red Sox, in this situation. They score against right-handed pitcher 5.94 runs, but against lefties they are much weaker. And Diamondbacks, they are better against righties, and they were better. They were better against lefties and weaker against righties. So what it means, for example, if Red Sox starts with a left-handed pitcher, they will have much more problems against Diamondbacks. And if Diamondbacks start with with left-handed pitcher, this game could be much closer than most people think. Okay, so this is just situational stats. You should not just look who will pitch, and let's say many bettors just look at the pitcher, they check his ERA, and that's it. Okay, so you need to check also if he's left-handed or right-handed pitcher. Okay, and then another thing. This is how you can see correlation between different statistics. I will show you how you can start on a simple way. On here we have runs per game and correlation between betting average, and here we have weighted on base average. This is another hitting statistic, and runs per game. And here you see that we have dots which are more fit on the line, and here are not that great, which means that this is probably better statistics. I will show you how you can do this on a very simple way. So if we go to Google Spreadsheets, I simply copy pasted this table from Fangraphs. So here we have runs, we have total games played by teams, and I calculated runs per game. Simply divide runs per total games. And what I want to see, let's say, weighted on base weighted on base, and I want to compare with betting average, which is something many people are looking for. And first, let's say that we use this, and I will simply select. I will click Command and Hold, and I will select also these numbers. I will click this. You can customize series, and you will get trend line. Okay, you can even get show R square. I just want to show you on a very simple way what you can do quickly. You can select then the second, okay, and you can also use this. And even if you don't use any advanced knowledge for statistics or math, you can even see that here we have better fit. Okay, you can also check series, trend line, show our statistics, and with our eyes we can see that this is a better fit. You can also use correl function to find some correlations, but with just a couple of seconds you can make your first analysis and play with different statistics to see what is better. Okay, And now I want to show you 7 useful statistics that you can use for analyzing games, which are much better than mainstream statistics. I will give you 4 for pitching, and I will explain each one, and I will also give you 3 extra for hitting, so you can use this in your analysis. For pitching, much better than ERA are SIERA, FIP, XFIP, and expected ERA. So let's start with SIERA. This is SIERA measures pitchers' true skill level by considering factors like strikeouts, walks, and type of batted balls allowed. Unlike other metrics, it accounts for the impact of balls in play and how different outcomes affect run prevention. Strikeouts are good here. This is the formula if you want to use. Why it is better? SIERA is more predictive than traditional ERA because it adjusts for batted ball types and rewards pitchers who can induce weaker contact and avoid walks. It is also park adjusted, meaning it's just for the fact that some pitchers play in Petco Park or and others in Yankee Stadium. Okay, this is very useful. It is what means that it is ERA metric. It is similar. Okay, so ERA is 4.3. This is also it is also used as ERA metric, like it will be 3.95 or something like that. Okay, and then you can create rankings, you can create weight, and so on. Okay, the second one is fielded independent pitching. FIP focus solely on outcomes a pitcher can control, namely strikeouts, walks, and home runs, ignoring defense and balls in play. So focus on pitcher quality. This is the formula. Why it is better? By eliminating the defensive component, FIP provides a more accurate reflection of a pitcher's individual contribution. Okay, you can even combine these different ERA metrics, and you can even create your own metric if you like, and play with these numbers. Okay, then the third is expected fielding independent pitching. It is very similar to FIP, but normalizes pitchers' home run rate to the league average based on the idea that pitchers have little control over converting fly balls into home runs. FIP removes the luck element in home run rates, offering a clearer picture of pitchers' true performance potential. Okay, and the fourth one is expected ERA. First three ones were from Fangraphs, and this is from Baseball Reference. You can also use this. So if you analyze games, if you compare pitchers, if you use those metrics, they are better and have much more predictive power than ERA. Okay, X ERA estimates what a pitcher's ERA should be based on the quality of contact they allow, using metrics like exit velocity and launch angle, along with strikeout and walk rates. Formula, we don't know public formula, but they are using Statcast data. You can find for free on the Baseball Reference. And XERA offers insights into pitchers' expected performance by focusing on the underlying quality of contact rather than the results, which can be influenced by luck or defense. One of the biggest mistakes also bettors make, that they try to figure everything by themselves. Okay, so before you try to figure everything by yourself, or try to be an Einstein who will create all these formulas or betting models, try to find someone who already did it. Okay, so first try to find advanced statistics. Okay, there are people who basically spend their whole life analyzing games, creating these formulas. First use those information, maybe betting models. First use those, because if you want to do everything by yourself, you will waste years and life is gone, right? When it comes to this statistics, those are already useful statistics, proven statistics that you can use. And then before you try to create your own statistics, first try to use them and then maybe combine them or something like that. Okay, and if this is not working for you, then of course you can create your own statistics. Okay, this is just a tip so you don't waste time for this. Okay, and then I want to show you also 3 useful statistics for hitting. First one is weighted runs created plus, measures a player's total offensive value compared to league average. with 100 being league average. It adjusts for park and league effects, making it great predictor of runs as it reflects a player's contribution to run creation. This is great because 100 is average for them, and then if the number is bigger, that means that it is player is better than league average, and it is lower than 100. That means that the player is weaker than league average. This is the formula if you want to use why it is better. Unlike betting average, weighted runs created plus accounts for the context of the player's performance and the relative impact of each offensive event on run production. Okay, the second one, weighted on base average, useful statistic, measures a player's overall offensive value by assigning appropriate weights to different outcomes: singles, doubles, walks, home runs, and so on. Okay, reflecting the true run value of each. This is the formula. And weighted on base average better reflects the true impact a player has on creating runs by weighting the different offensive outcomes rather than treating them equally as betting average does. Okay, this is also very useful. Again, you can also combine these statistics and find what works for you. Okay, and then slugging percentage is also good, useful. Quantifies a player's power by accounting for the total bases achieved per at bat. It shows how well a batter performs in producing extra base hits. This is the formula. Extra base hits contribute more significantly to run production, making slugging a better indicator of a player's run driving potential. Okay, so you have now 7 statistics that are much better than ERA, betting average, or those mainstream statistics. And if you will focus on them, you will find much better opportunities. You will find some discrepancies, and you will find bets where maybe some teams or pitchers will be underrated. Okay, so a couple of quick tips to start. Stick simply to important stats information. Don't overcomplicate with all kind of statistics, because if you will just start with a lot of things, you will make a lot of mistakes, because the more information you make, you also multiply mistakes. Okay, so what I recommend, start small. Okay, sometimes I see bettors who start betting on baseball, analyzing the games with statistics, with betting models. They get very excited. They want to jump and start creating too complex betting models. But what I believe is the best way, that you start with the basics and be really good at those things, and then step by step, because betting is not going anywhere. Okay, and for the long term, this is much better. Okay, also Google Sheets is great. It is not complex tool. Every sports bettors who bet on sports should use at least Google Spreadsheets, which is, I think, one of the most simplest tools to use. Of course, if you can use Python or statistics or some other software, or if you're a developer, that's great. I'm not that smart. I don't code, but Google Sheets works for me and for most other bettors. And if sports bettor is not using at least Google Spreadsheets, he will have big problems. Baseball betting, and not only baseball betting, but anything else, because sports betting has changed. It is all about data, and you need to have some tool to analyze games, to organize stats, maybe even just to make rankings, makes simple calculations, and don't try to figure everything by yourself, of course, but Google Sheets is great. Okay, and of course you can use all kind of statistical method, regression analysis, which will show you relationships between variables. Okay, so what is my process for analyzing MLB games? I simply use my own betting model that I have created in Google Spreadsheets. I started doing this more than 20 years ago. During this time, I refined my betting models, improved. I went from simple to complex, from complex back to simple. I simply tried to find what works for me. I wanted to include more and more statistics. Then I saw that some statistics will just mess my betting model. And then simply I found statistics that are useful, that are not complicated, and that works for me. But there is basically unlimited ways how you can go with betting models, in which direction. I simply found my way. and I use players lineups. I use with combination of team stats, of course, pitcher statistics, bullpen statistics. I also use different weights. For example, how they play in last year, last 2 seasons, then last 30 days, maybe last 14 days, and I weight this to give a little bit more momentum for the betting model. Then I also look for situational statistics. If team is hitting against left-handed pitcher, if a player is hitting against lefty or righty, this is all taken into account. And then I also, of course, project the odds and compare with sportsbooks odds. So this is the goal of betting model. I simply everything is set up, and then on a daily basis, I simply check the lineups, type the teams, type the pitchers, select the hand, type bookmakers odds, and my betting model will project my own odds, and then it will also calculate discrepancy between my projected odds and bookmakers odds. I also have my own formula, adjusted Kelly criterion, which will gives me direction what should be a unit. Okay, and this is my way of analyzing games. I will give you a couple of tips to know and things to improve. Starting pitchers pitch around 60% of the game. I want to show you this. So here are the statistics for pitchers, starting pitchers, inning pitch per game start, and median is around 5.05. Average is close to 5, and maximum is close to 7. So what that means that starting pitchers will go, let's say, 60% of the game. And if you ignore bullpens, relievers, then you will simply ignore 40% of the game, which is one big mistake many bettors make. The game has changed. Pitchers don't go anymore 9 innings. They pitch much less. Okay, around 5-6 innings. We will see what will happen in the future. But I wanted to show you that, as you see, maybe Clayton Kershaw or maybe some pitchers have close to 7 innings per pitch, but most pitchers are around 5, maybe 6, 5, around 5 innings. And this is something we need to take into account, because baseball game is 9 innings long, and if we divide this number by 9, you see the percentage of pitchers' involvement in the game. Okay. Another interesting thing I want to show you, we have different pitching styles. For example, Framber Valdez here, he has ground ball percentage above 50%, which means that most of his ball will end on the ground. On the other side, we have some other pitchers like Nestor Cortes. As you see, ground ball percentage is around 30%, which means that 60% of balls will and in air, and this can also be included into your analysis, or if you analyze games, or if you bet on games, you can include this. I will show you how you can do this. So what is ground ball percentage? This is the percentage of batted balls that hit the ground. A higher ground ball percentage generally means more balls are hit on the ground, which tend to lead to easier outs. This is just the idea that you can look for. It is not just the ERA or runs. You can just look at this angle, how this will impact on runs. Ground balls often results in fewer extra base hits compared to fly balls. Fewer extra base hits can mean fewer opportunities for runners to score. Of course, this can be true, but it also depends on the weather. For example, if someone is a fly ball pitcher, and if the wind is blowing against him, many balls will stay in the ballpark, and hitter and the players will catch this. This is something you can also take into account. How weather affect ground ball percentage, air density and temperature, also where they play, where is the ballpark. For example, in playing in Denver is completely different than playing in Florida, for example. Cooler temperatures or higher humidity make the air denser, which can cause batted balls to stay lower. This favors ground ball pitchers. Wind conditions You can always check the wind, if the wind is going left, outside, or inside. Those are all kinds. So baseball has a lot of statistics, a lot of things you can use, and you can create your own unique style of betting. A headwind can keep balls down, while tailwind might help them fly higher. This can change the effective ground ball percentage during a game. How ballpark factors influence ground ball percentage. Infield surface, firm, fast infield, common in many modern parks, can make ground balls skid faster, right? Because the grass is not that soft, making it harder for batters to convert them into hits. Field dimension: some parks naturally direct batted balls toward the infield, which helps pitchers who rely on ground balls. And turf against the grass. Artificial turf can often create faster surface than natural grass, again favoring ground ball pitchers by making the ball move quicker. So there's a lot of things you can take into account. And I will show you one example comparing two pitchers. As I already mentioned, we have some pitchers that are more ground ball pitchers, and some pitchers which have higher fly ball or lower ground ball percentage. What that means, for example, Valdez, who has 60% ground ball. High ground ball percentage might be a result of his pitch mix combined with favorable weather and ballpark conditions. This often means fewer extra base hits and consequently fewer runs allowed in some situations. And Nestor Cortes, he's a more fly ball pitcher. In contrast, a lower ground ball percentage suggests that he gives up more fly balls. So when they hit, the balls will stay in the air. What that means, fly balls can turn into extra base hits more often, which might lead to more runs being scored against him in some situation. It also depends on the wind, on the weather, okay, and how they hit and so on. But you can also include this into your analysis. This is just the idea. And what this means for betting implications, for round totals, for example, over under, lower runs expected. If a game features a pitcher like Valdez in conditions that promote ground balls, the game might be lower scoring. This makes the under on total runs more appealing bet, and high runs expected. If pitcher like Cortes, who tends to allow more fly balls, might lead a higher scoring game, bettors might lean toward the over. In this scenario, again, if we take into account the weather, ballpark, hitters, and all other information that we have, okay. But I wanted to show you that we have different types of pitchers, not only left-handed or right-handed pitcher, and different pitchers with different styles will can result in different runs scored. Depends on the weather, depends where they play, depends against who they play, right? And so on, okay. So there is unlimited options to analyze games, and this is why baseball is so beautiful. Then the next thing, ballpark adjusted numbers and advanced stats. Of course, as I already mentioned, look for advanced stats and you will do better. Bet early. This is attacking exactly the closing line. You will get better odds if you bet early. Don't bet just before the game start, because all the information will be already included, including bettor's money. Sometimes you will fail, but in the long run, you must bet early to get better odds. Things to add: you can also improve with umpires, weather for totals betting. I'm not focusing on totals. Weathers are also unpredictable, and also, of course, depends where you live, how you live. Weather are just prediction what will happen. Everything can be important, okay. Umpires, weather, stealing bases, everything can be important. But if you create an analysis, you need to know how to adjust all this information. So sometimes it is better to not overcomplicate. You find one angle, use data, use projections, use analysis, use betting models that will give you projections. What I like to use bigger discrepancies between my projected numbers and bookmakers numbers, because I know that no betting model is perfect. And of course, there are much smarter bettors, much smarter analysts. They use much more complex betting models, but this is how I use it, and it works for me and also for an average bettor who is just starting out or is just an average guy like me. But of course, everything can be included, including all kind of statistics. But as I said, if you want to do this, just grow slowly, because usually people will have problems with copy pasting at the start, and if you will jump with 100 statistics, you will just simply overcomplicate. So it is better to go step by step. Okay, and again, don't overcomplicate at the start. So I hope you got some ideas from this video, and now I will give you the final tips for your best betting season yet. First, of course, you need to set a clear plan. I always recommend set your goal and also exit plan, because even if you do everything correctly, sports betting is not guarantee. Okay, nobody can guarantee that you will win. The best sports bettor cannot guarantee that you will win. Picks cannot guarantee that you will win, because sports betting is simply high risk investment and anything can happen. You don't have you don't control everything in the game. Okay, that's why it is okay to also set exit plan. So let's say if you lose 50% of units or 30 or whatever, you simply have a plan for every single situation. What you do if you lose, what you do if you win, and before you even start, you have a clear plan. Okay, stick to around 1% of your bankroll. Even if you start small, in one season you will learn how betting works, if this is for you, how much time you need to analyze games, and even if this is 1000 American dollars, this would be 10 American dollars per game. Maybe you will not make a lot of money, but in 1 year you will learn a lot about baseball. You will become much better than others, and if you will analyze games every single day, this is also very important. You will gain a lot of knowledge, which will also be useful not only for sports betting but also for something else. Okay, and if you stick to 1% of your bankroll, you will learn what it takes to be a baseball bettor. Of course, focus on probabilities and the price. Even if you don't have a betting model, even if you don't analyze games, even if this is complex for you, don't ask who will win the game. Try to ask in which direction the line will go, or try to ask if this is a good price, or if this team is underrated or overrated. And this is better to bet based on this idea, not just who will win. Okay, be patient. Baseball season is long. Not every month will be profitable. I know bettors who are very good at the start of the season, and they have red numbers at the end. Some bettors have very good start, and then later on, more and more statistics come in. They have their betting model or betting strategy so that they have better results. Usually my first month is not that great, but that doesn't mean that it will always be the same. So you need to be patient, stick to the plan. The final goal is to make long-term profits, and baseball will teach you how to be patient, because a lot of game in very short period of time will happen, and not everyone has the patience and passion and to do this on a daily basis. Okay, baseball is something that you live. Okay, and it is not for everyone, but it is amazing. And what I recommend, this is one of my best tips for every sports bettor: stop watching games, because time is limited. Not only time, the focus is limited. Okay, the new currency in current life is attention, and if bettors stop watching games and they use this extra time for learning and becoming better, I guarantee that they will end with more profits, with better life and better health and everything. Okay, watching games has nothing to do with sports betting. Watching games is just for fun. Okay, what those people who say that they watch games that they will better predict the games, this is not how the things work. Okay, because the idea of analyzing games is to find statistics for two teams, and how they would go against an average team on a neutral field. And if you want to do this, first you need to watch all the games, which is not possible. Secondly, you don't have time to watch all the games. And thirdly, the baseball games are 3-4 hours. Baseball games are people who watch baseball games, this is just a sports fan entertainment, which is nothing wrong with this. I'm talking as a sports bettor, okay? We can also talk as a sports fans, but strictly from sports betting perspective, you need that 3 hours uh, to focus and learn and analyze games. Better spent for analyzing the games than watching games, okay? Because there are sites that will provide information about games, and watching games, those who say that they will watch games and collect the data, you cannot collect the data with your own eyes because you will make mistakes, okay? When I was watching games in the past, some players were more favorite to me, some players were not that great. I loved some players, I loved some teams, even the shirts were more attractive, and you will make all kinds of mistakes, okay? So if you, many professional bettors, many successful bettors, they don't watch games because of betting, okay? I can watch games, people can watch games for fun, but not because of betting, okay? If you can separate this, what is watching games, what is fun, and what is a business, then you will have better chance to win. And not only to win, you will have better life, you'll become smarter, you will make more money, okay? This is one tip that I saw. It worked for me and for many others who bet on sports, okay? Okay, and we are at the end of this video. I hope it was not too long, and I hope that you got at least one idea. Again, I just gave you my view, my opinion on this. Nothing is absolute truth. I just shared what worked for me, how I see this. Some other people see differently. There are many much smarter bettors, much better bettors with much better sports betting models that are smarter, and they will give you completely another perspective. But I hope that my perspective was useful and that it will serve you, even if this is only one idea. And if you want to learn more about my ways of betting, how I build sports betting models in Google spreadsheets, and if you want to learn about this, visit underdogchance.com, and I wish you a successful season.